Whoops.
Yeah, I think they got rid of that precedent. Welcome, YouTube audience, to House Immortalum, episode 3, 4. I don't know. We're going along. This is an episode. The crew, when we last left off, I'll do a quick recap, real quick. They've been through some struggles together. Distrust has been sown with them and the family at large, and now the family has called them. Ambrosia has called them for the reckoning. You are given a bit of time to train personally, and over the past 2 months since returning after your personal training, Ambrosia has put you through not only rigorous schooling, mental training, but also rigorous physical training for you. I mean, it's not like it's a fighting school, but yeah, it was pretty rigorous for you guys. So how I want you, we'll go across, we'll go Jen, then Mac, then Nicholas. Describe what your character looks like after this time and how you took it, and describe how you come up into Ambrosia's presence in the main exit.
How took what?
Took to the training, how you liked the personal attention of the headmaster of the family, the boss.
Of Ambrosia?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess I'm a little bit more ambivalent than I was before. I seem much older than my 26 years somehow, and I'm just dressed in finery at all times, the finer things in life, bags under my eyes. But in general, happy, I suppose.
All right, excellent. Mac, how does this time find Shale as he comes to begin this journey with Ambrosia herself?
I think Shale would have definitely done a bit more training on the physical side, like you were saying, and has spent some time with the rapier and the hand crossbow, and kind of gotten a little bit more versed in close quarters combat with just simple weapons versus magic. Just being that from far away, it was fine, but if anybody got up close, it was a little bit of a different situation. So I think that's what he did, and has some bit bulkier armor now. Other than that, not much has changed, being an elf physically, but I think mentally just has gotten more prepared for the situation and kind of expecting something to go wrong from our last encounter. So
That sounds about right. And what about you, Nicholas? How is Malachi facing the tension that he has so long avoided?
So Malachi only shows up for about 40% of his lessons, and the rest of the time he actually gets himself some new finery. So he blings up Mr. T style as well, bright colors and blues and cyans and purples abound. Gets his raven some new bling as well. And he maintains a pretense. He spends a lot of time at the Red Lotus, but he makes it seem as if he's being a flamboyant womanizer. However, it's actually a secret ruse, as he's spending most of his time secretly investigating Ambrosia through his scrying abilities. And that is how so she's probably really frustrated and hates him, I imagine, at this point. But that's what he's been doing. He's been making it look like he's a layabout, and been trying to get to the bottom of this whole sheep slave business. Uh, you seem to be muted, Archie. I don't know if you're trying to say something or not, but it's the curse, the Archie curse.
I swear to you, man, I had this whole conversation with y'all earlier, no problem. I was on a call the other day, no problem. I get into this specific game, and then my earphones start cutting out. So we're back. We're back to the computer input, and we're gonna keep rolling because hey, we're not gonna deal with shenanigans again. Let's play the damn game. Okay.
Might be the live functionality. Anyhow, yeah. Did you respond to me?
So I caught most of it. You are skipping classes and stuff, and you're trying to find out what's up with the sheep thing.
He's just trying to get to the bottom of if Ambrosia has been compromised or not, essentially. But he's doing it under the guise of that he's just partying and not doing his studies. But he's using that as a cover. He's basically like renting out a room in the whorehouse and scrying like almost all day long.
So you're scrying on Ambrosia?
Yeah, with his arcane eye while she's distracted. Yeah, most of the time.
You're using your physical arcane eye.
Yeah. So I can watch and try to figure shit out and I'll like put on a fucking dark cloak and walk down the fucking hallway and like while someone's distracted, quickly like read their mind and shit and try to figure out if there's shit's going on. He's doing his thing. He's like a really powerful fucking investigator. He's got like +6 or 7 in that shit. So he's got +8 in that shit. So he's really good at it. Plus he uses magic to figure shit out. He just wants to know if she was complicit in the whole sheep slavery ring.
No, man, you quickly figured out that she wasn't part of that, man. That was basically, you could have figured that out when you guys went to the spa with her. She would have been straight up with you. So you wouldn't even waste your time on that, really using all your magical energies. You would probably be investigating your dad or something. And I'm sorry for this cat. He won't stop meowing right now because his mommy went out the fucking house.
Yeah, that's all right. So I'll try to. So he'll be trying, instead of that, he'll be trying to like suss out like a traitor amongst the house, someone who may have been complicit in his father's eventual death, I guess. But the real gist is that he's looking like he's fucking off, but really he's doing this other thing. But all the while he's still skipping class. I'll get you some
info in private about that. I can't really chat it up with you right now, but you definitely found some information of interest. Ooh, but nice. You don't have really an opportunity to act upon that now as you come rolling up on Ambrosia, unless you're just going to blow this off too, which.
No, I'm not going to blow this off. He thinks like now with all these shenanigans, like he's going to go ahead and take his rightful place so he can swing his weight around at this point. He's convinced.
Okay, so you're gonna come up on this meeting as well. Let me hear from y'all. Who do you think is going to get to the main entrance first?
Shale.
Me. Okay.
I love it. All right. Okay. So Shale, you come up on a very familiar sight. The person who has been training you guys physically, Crowlash, pretty surly half-orc lady. She's broke your nose a couple times in the training, but it was always like she didn't just break it to be a dick. It was all about like teaching you about your openings and everything. So it was quickly repaired. But yeah, man, she's no joke. And she's standing there beside the portal, and she kind of gives you a hand sign that says, like an insulting hand sign. It's a joke. She gives you a joking introduction.
All right, I flip her off right back, but then kind of go up and we'll like smile and then do like that like a wrist handshake where you like instead of grabbing their hand, you like grab them by the arm and like like that forearm grab. That's what I'll do for her.
Yeah. So she grabs you firmly and well met, Shale. I'm sure you'll do fine today.
Yes, thank you, Crowlash. I appreciate all you've done for me. Even the pain.
Well, don't act like you haven't dished it out too, son. You'll be fine, just fine. Watch out for these little ones. They crunch easy.
You're right about that.
So who comes
Yes,
up?
he sure does like the pain, doesn't he? As you turn around to see Malachi has like snuck up behind you.
Oh, Malachi, you came. I'm glad. I'm glad.
He'll kind of give her a wry sideways glance, and he'll say, I imagine it's about time.
Indeed, indeed.
How goes your training, Malachi?
He kind of inspects his fingernails, which are painted like bright purple at the moment. He says, yes, very well. And then he kind of looks up at you. And, has your hair grown back?
Yeah, probably. Or else it's just altered in a way that it is.
Says, my boy, is that natural or a wig?
Well, you'll find out soon enough.
Ah, I imagine so. Now, where is that impetuous girl at? And he'll look around for kind of.
So I guess like while looking, I'm kind of like trying to hide, but not really, because I'm out in the open, just taking a sip of something out of a flask and then put it away and then stroll up casually and say, "Brother Shale, how nice to see you again."
Malachi will do a sweeping bow.
I'll imitate him the same way.
And I know this girl too because we were all training with her.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I'll just nod my head to her and not acknowledge her or anything. Well, acknowledge her by nodding my head to her, basically, at her. Yeah.
She totally sticks her tongue out at you.
I'm just gonna ignore her.
And then she shakes Shale and she says, yes, haha, you're going to have to keep an eye on them, but I'm sure you'll all be fine. And then as soon as she says fine, she kind of starts and stands up a little bit straighter. And you all see coming in a small group of gnomes from one of the side entrances, headed by Ambrosia. And as they come in, you see Pandal Smart is on one side of her, and on the other side is your other cousin, Ambrosia's little brother, Ephraim Eisenstein. He's pretty well respected, well known. He's exalted, but he's more of a he stays in the basement kind of guy. He doesn't go out too much. He's a kind of a smith type. So, anyways, he's coming in with her, and his glasses, are down at the end of his nose. He has his lab coat on. He has a notepad, like a book open in front of him, and there's like a pen floating in the air, writing in it. As he comes strutting in, and Ambrosia's telling him stuff, waving arms at him, she's looking all frustrated, trying to explain this stuff to him. And Pandal Smart just has a little sniggering grin on his face as he's listening to this exchange between brother and sister. And as they approach, you hear her. I told you. Just follow the instructions. If you have any questions, just ask Pandal Smart. And he's saying, my schedule cannot handle this. I cannot accommodate you. And as he comes up, Ambrosia says, enough. And he looks up and then realizes where he's at, and he stops. And Pandal Smart begins to work his magics in the area. Without even waiting for a command. And Ambrosia says, welcome, I'm glad you're all here. And she looks at Crowlash and says, are you ready, sister? Crowlash says, yes, of course. She says, are these ready? And she kind of hits Malachi a little bit harder than necessary to kind of try to scoot. You see if you scoot, she kind of, pats your back.
I'd like to see it coming and step out of the way.
Okay, that's cool. So she says, oh yeah, they're gonna be fine, just fine. She claps her hands and kind of rubs them together as she chews on one of her tusks. She only has one, so her tusk, I guess. She also has a large scar over one eye as well. I'm sorry, I failed to describe that as well. And when that eye opens, it's real clouded. It's pretty gross. It creeps you out. That's one of her favorite tactics. She teaches you distraction by opening her eye and creeping people out. But back on track, Ambrosia says, good, we'll be traveling to the city of New Figton, home of House Ophia. I hope you're all prepared. I can't offer too much information, but if you have any questions about the reckoning, now's your only chance. And she looks back at Pandlesmart to see like how far along he is. She starts fidgeting at her holy symbol as she looks between the three of you.
Yeah, Malachi will just kind of wave a dismissive hand and he'll say, yes, yes, yes. Let's get this over with.
It's very well, very well. Ephraim, you have your information. You can go. And he said, oh, thank you. And he just, cousins? And he waves at you. Like he just leaves. He doesn't even wait. You know? That's just the way he is. He doesn't mean anything by it. He just opens his book and starts writing again as he runs off. And Pandlesmart is not completely done, but Ambrosia will walk over and begin to whisper stuff to Crowlash. Kind of separate Crowlash from the trio of you and take her aside and start to talk to her privately. So as the three of you stand there awkwardly looking around between yourselves and the assembled parties, Pandlesmart says, okay, I'm done. And he says a quick few words in Draconic, and the floor grows a light where he has scattered different colored, crystals and dusts along the ground, and it lights up.
Your incantations are rather shrill.
Yes. His familiar is providing spell support. So yeah, his familiar is like a chihuahua or something. Yep.
Great.
So the light lights up in this reddish purple light and up to the sky briefly, and then it dims and the floor is just a light. And he says, at your leisure, Headmaster.
Are we ready?
Yes. After you, and Crowlash steps in and disappears.
I'll follow.
Malachi will turn to his sister, and with a wry smile on his face, big blue stained teeth and lips, he'll say, after you, my dear.
Oh, no, brother. I insist. Go ahead.
He'll kind of, he'll smirk wryly, and he'll say, I know better than to argue with a ginger, and then he'll step through.
Yeah, after they have gone through, I'll take another swig out of my flask and then go through.
Pandlesmart gives you one raised eyebrow, but he doesn't say shit.
You better not say shit.
That's right, Pendledum.
What I gotta say about it.
Okay, so as you guys come through the portal, you find yourself underneath a beautiful tree, and in front of you is what can only be described as a shanty town with canals throughout it, where you would expect there to be streets. There's canals, and in between them are large ramshackle buildings. Doesn't seem to be any type of order to them. Some are stone, some are wood. Some of them are painted all different colors. Some of them are unpainted. Some of them are painted multiple colors where parts have been replaced.
The canals are filled with water.
Oh yeah, it's water. And it's not super filthy, but it's like definitely not beautiful and resplendent and crystal clear.
Shanty Ventus. Shanty Venice.
But you guys are you guys are kind of in a nice park, and just in front of you, that's what you see, and the ocean. So you're looking out on a port. In the distance, you see a lighthouse and some few islands with small structures dotting them in the distance on the horizon.
Mm. Wonderful. Kind of look around expectantly.
I sniff the air.
Malachi, do you recognize this area, brother?
He says, "Of course I do. This is the blah 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 of House Ophelia."
Yes, you're in the water sector. There's 5 sectors to this town. House Ophelia's town. It's pretty slummy, dude. The whole only one sector's nice. That's like the middle one where all the fucking Ophelia people live. Everything else is pretty slummy. So yeah, it's like known as the slummiest house city.
Yes. Yes, dear sister, it's not much to look at, but the oysters are to die for.
Oh. Blood. Kind of not a fan of oysters.
Oh, my dear, you don't know what you're missing. He'll give you like a wink with his heavily eyelinered eye.
Well, where are we off to?
Ambrosia will approach then with Crowlash at her side and say, "Very well, the trials begin now." And she kind of clicks her heels together and stands up straight and says, "You must find me at the City of Light. You have 3 days. Should you succeed, you will join the ranks of those who have witnessed the revelation. Should you fail, the only trial is by my hand." And then she touches Crowlash's hip, because Crowlash is a giant orc and she's a fucking gnome. And she turns, touches a ring on her finger and turns it with her thumb and disappears.
This is so stupid. Hide and seek? Really? That's what she came up with?
She has never had much of imagination, I'm afraid. Perhaps that's why they chose her to rule and allowed me to roam.
Can't be too hard.
Well, where should we start, Malachi?
All right, what do I know about the City of Light? History? What do you want?
Yeah, man, that's good. Everybody can give me a history or a straight intelligence.
Fuck you, rolls.
Wow.
I guess I got a 14.
It's still a 10.
Straight up 20.
I mean a 12, sorry. I can't count.
It's
different.
It's a 9, unfortunately.
So we got 9, 14. What do you end up with total, Shale?
Just a 12. It's just a straight 20.
Okay. So
No, I got a 12, sorry. Also.
Okay. So you guys, Malachi, even you know about the 4 sectors. You know it's like kind of slummy. The people who made it above 10, y'all know that each sector sort of has a flavor, like the names. You know, like the water. There's the 4 elements, the old school elements: earth, fire, air. Are the different quarters, and in the middle is like the greatest library in the world. That's the only reason people come here, even though it's a slum, because they have a baller ass library. So you know, and the port is real famous because like so much trade goes through, but it seems like all the profit just goes to libraries. It doesn't really enrich the port town. But there's always ships. There's always like pirate shenanigans here. It's pretty shenanigan town. So you know those little facts.
What does that have to do with the City of Light?
You have no, you don't. You don't know about the city. You don't. No, you don't know about that.
Must be a nickname of some kind.
Ah, let's go to the library, guys.
Very well.
Yes, you. I think that would be a good place to start. If we'd like, we could stick together, or should we not?
Of course we should. It's a quick walk, right? A quick boat ride. Isn't it? Aren't I right, Malachi? It's a quick boat ride to the center of town.
Um, yes, of course, my dear. It's like Malachi like looks around for the library because so help him God, though he's been here so many times. Every time he comes, he gets so drunk and high on oysters and soma that he seems to have forgotten everything he has known of this place, and so he looks like he's just going to look for the library. If it's a big building, perhaps he could see it.
Yeah. So as you turn around to the, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how the sun works real quick because I'm dumb. Yeah. So as you turn around away from the rising sun, you see the bulk of the city. A lot more slums, but pockets of life and flavor amongst it. But in the center is a large stand of what can only be described as tower trees, or tower trees. They're not tree towers. They're like towers that have canopies of trees as roofs.
Oh, cool.
And there's like a bunch, and in the center of them is one super duper gigantic one. And you know that that's the greatest library on the planet.
Oh, yes. Indeed, there it is. Knew that all along, and he'll give you a wink.
Great
this
work,
big,
Malachi.
bushy, purple dyed eyebrow, furrows down a little bit.
Oh, brother, I'm so jealous of all of your travels. You know so much.
Yes, I'm afraid I have forgotten more than you know, my dear. But you'll learn soon. And quickly, I imagine. You're a smart one, yes?
Yes.
Yes, you're very observant. Well, shall we be off?
I think we shall. What are we
We only
waiting
have 3
for?
days.
Let's be off. We have a deadline to meet.
How far away is this library from us currently?
Archkins.
Gee. Answer the question. Answer the question.
We can see it. I mean,
So you guys know that across the canals, I'm sorry, I didn't tell y'all, but you know this too. The gondolas, they have gondolas, like in Venice that you ride on. So it's kind of like a taxi thing. You can find little spots where you can get on and off, and it's sort of like a free service. You're supposed to tip them, but whatever. So you guys know you can find that.
all right. Let's find one of those.
Yes. Yeah, I'll go and flag me down a gondola.
I'm gonna. They're like single row boats, right? Or like 2 per row.
Well, the canals are pretty wide, so I mean, you just sort of get in on a side, and you can go. It's not like there's enough gondolas where they need to control traffic in that way. It's just
Okay. I'm getting into the very back seat.
Mm-hmm.
So is there someone operating it then?
oh
Or do we
yeah,
have to-
there's an elf operating it. He's wearing a red sash, the gondola operator sash, and he has a big hat on to protect him from the sun, and a long stick, and he stands at the bow. That's the front, right?
Hello, good sir. I say as I crawl into the back.
Howdy, howdy. Welcome to my gondola. Where you guys want to be on about now?
Sorry.
Take us to the library.
Oh, yeah,
Please.
them fancy clothes. I thought you guys be them learning types. I'm surprised you don't got one of them gondolas of yourself. You know, they drive around in the... Oh, anyways, let me get y'all on here. Everybody sit down now. We're gonna get moving. And he starts moving, and then he just goes on about Boomhauer. And they got their own gondola. You know, they drive them on themselves. I see them coming by. I don't know what they're doing, but there's always somebody sitting on the back of them, and I don't know, man. It's real, and they come through.
So where do you guys sit?
I'm gonna go up to the prow or the helm the prow, yeah, the front, and Leonardo DiCaprio the shit out of that.
I'll stay in the middle.
I'll sneak a drink in the back.
He's stroking his bright red and orange upper beard, which then trails off the blues and purples as it gets around to his knees. And he's looking out, and he's trying to remember. There was this house of the night that he visited once, and just for the life of him, he just can't remember what it was. But they were into some crazy shit there. He had the time of his life. He's just trying to remember where that is. Unfortunately, he can't.
How long is this ride?
Oh, well, it's going to be on about 15 minutes, I think. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it could be a little bit long, could be a little bit short, depending on how the river's flowing this morning. It's the morning time, so I think that's about right. But, I never can make the promise when they ask me that. I don't.
So, yeah, I'm just going to be trying to sneak drinks, like at least 2 on the way to the library.
Can I see her and maybe ask for one? Would I notice it?
I'm trying to be sneaky, so should we roll for that?
Sure, man. You can roll. Go ahead. We'll do a posed roll, and you do deception and sleight of hand. And Mac, you give me a perception on that.
11.
Nice. Yeah, you got me.
He doesn't give a fuck, apparently.
Oh, Shell, take a drink.
Yeah,
By
I just
all
like
means.
kind of like I see her trying to hide it, so I just say, "Hey, would you mind offering me one of those? This gentleman is grating."
I'm still gonna try and like be sneaky because I don't want Malachi to know. So I'm like, just hand it to him, but like kind of like you would pass a joint in the car, like low.
Yeah, just like I'm reaching behind me without even looking, and just like, and then take a swig and then pass it back.
Nice.
You guys look over like directly to your right and realize that there's a one-eyed raven like just sitting on the side of the boat right next to you. Kind of cocks his head.
You fucker.
A little bit.
And as you're up there on the bow, the guy says, "Oh, look out there, little guy! Don't make sure you don't fall off. Now, I'm not taking responsibility for you if you get wet. I don't get mad at me if you mess up the fancy robes. I tell you, you can get your butt back down there in them seats. I asked if you were sitting down. What you doing up here, man? Be careful."
I'll just kind of like wave it off from behind, and he will take a step back down, and he'll like discreetly reach into his pouch and pull a bit of something out of there and begin sucking on it.
What you got there, little man? You got some treats there? You gonna give me some dip? You got some dip in there? You got some smoke? What you got down there, man? If you need something, I can tell you where to get some. We got everything down here. And this is a town you come to get some. What you got down there, little man? Be careful down there now.
How far up how is this thing only like 15 feet long?
Yeah, man, you're like right in between his legs. Like you're like you're pretty close to Speckle level, buddy.
Well, I was at the front of the ship, right?
That's where he's at, rowing the boat.
Oh,
Right,
I thought he had a stick and he was at the back. That's usually how these things work.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I misunderstood what was going on.
Maybe it's a magic boat or something. I'll put him at the front because I'm dumb. He's up front though.
Oh, okay. Malachi will just kind of turn and look at him and he'll say, "Good sir, what I have is none of your business." And I'll give him a wink. And then I'll like hop down and go in between his legs and just like brush my way through. Ah, good God, man. Clean yourself for once in a while. And then
Oh no, they're trying to tell me all this and that. I swear.
Yeah, I'll move back to.
Like turn to Shale and be like, "How ridiculous this man!"
Aren't you used to it by now?
I wonder if she was talking about me or the or the ferryman.
I wouldn't clarify, but I was talking about the taxi man, the boomhauer man.
Yes, he's quite the character.
Mm-hmm. These backwater elves. No offense, Shell. We'll give you a wink.
I roll my eyes.
It's okay, Shell. We don't see you like one of those kind.
Okay, so you guys have just about come up upon. You've passed through the main quadrant, the city of where you were at of the water sector, and you've come up on the main part. As you come in, you start coming up on these large towers up on each side. There's very kick-ass like doorways, large archways in stone, intricately carved with plants and benches and everything. Everything is super opulent here. As you come into the canals here, they're all tiled off with different gemstones and works of art underneath. The water has somehow become crystal clear. And as you come through here at this time of day, you see gondolas floating by with just one or two men or one or two people upon them, and nobody rowing. The person upon him is just sitting there reading a book or just sitting, or they're not steering the boat. So you see that, and these are very opulent. Think about you're in a normal gondola, and then this one is like the one from Lord of the Rings that the elves have, the fancy white one. Like this one is legit. So
I'll
you
get
see
pretty
those in here.
I'll get pretty wide-eyed because this is like nothing I've ever seen before.
Malachi yawns.
You tired, brother?
Yes, my dear. I seem to have a kink in my back. I didn't get much sleep last night, and he'll give you another wink.
Would you like a massage, brother?
Oh, my dear. Perhaps, but later. I do intend to, perhaps if I have the moment, find this one establishment that I once frequented here. They do the strangest thing with seashells.
Oh yeah, the seashells. You talking about radiance over there? I know. Oh, and then he notices where he is.
Oh, my boy.
He turns around and he says, "Oh yeah, I know about that place. I never get myself in there, but." Yeah.
Oh, my boy, you'll have to give me directions. Yes.
What are you talking about, sir?
If you want to get that there that you had, maybe I could tell you a little something. I told y'all I know about everywhere in this city, and he gives you the crazy eyes. He like one of them gets real big, and he opens up his mouth, and his teeth are all jacked up, and I could tell you where it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I know you will. So go ahead and do it. Why don't you?
I don't think we really have time for extravagances right now. Maybe afterwards.
Oh, my friend, we have 3 whole days. I mean, how hard could this reckoning business really be?
Agreed. I want to see as much as I can of this city while I have it. What is this seashell business you speak of?
Oh, little sister, I don't know if it's appropriate.
Well, the good sir will give us the address, and we can find it for ourselves.
Well, why don't you share what you got under that robe there, little man? I see you got a smile on your face now. Why don't you go ahead and put a smile on mine? And he gives you this like creepy grin and a wink.
Sure, my boy. I'll put a smile on your face, and I'm going to invade his mind.
Well, that took a dark turn.
motherfucker.
Okay, so I mean, what do you need to do that? You're just casting a detect thoughts.
Detect thoughts. Wisdom saving throw. DC 16.
Oh, my ninja. Okay. That's
Bill and Ted here. Hopefully,
I guess he could technically succeed, but I don't really see it happening. Let's see what happens, man. Nope, no damn way. Okay, so he's thinking, oh, I bet these fancy guys got some real good drugs.
Yes,
you want your
yes,
drugs.
Yes, we do, my friend. And then like reach up my hand and then like clench it into a fist as I like dig in and find the location of this shell, the revelation. I'm just gonna go for it.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he, in your mind, you see the fire district. You recognize it by the magical lights. It's sort of like the red light district. And yeah, there's a bunch of them. There's one spot called Radiance that has 2 seashells on as its logo, and they do this. It's like a cleaning ritual that you do before you can interact with their performers. So it involves some seashells, but like I don't know, maybe you like it.
We don't have to get into details, man. I'm just looking for the location for later. Like, that's it. It doesn't really matter. None of this matters. We're not doing this.
No, hey, it's cool, man.
It's just for fun.
It's cool, man. We're right at the right level, brother. So you know it's in the fire district. You can see it clearly. You can even sort of feel the route in his mind. It's not so much that he has a map in his head as this kind of he knows which turns to make, but since he knows now, like you kind of know, because yeah.
Oh, he can tell that I'm in there.
Oh well, he's looking at you crazy then, and you know what? He's gonna let go of his stick, and it's gonna fall into the boat, and he's gonna try to ruffle your pockets. He's gonna just try to take your shit. You want me to just roll an attack roll on your ass, or how do you want to fucking do that? Like, can he just hand?
Roll initiative.
Yeah, he can.
Oh no!
He can try. I mean, if you want to give me an initiative roll to try to intercept him, then that'd be okay. But it doesn't matter. He can come at me. Let me just look up mage armor real quick because I have it up. 13 plus dex, so I will have a 16 AC currently. And I would like to say that I would see this coming because he would think I'm gonna ruffle this motherfucker's feathers, and I would see that, I would hear that shit in my mind before he even did it.
Oh yeah, what he says is he? You hear in his head, is he in my? Oh hell no! And you stepping real close, and then he's like looming in your grill face as you're like all up in his head, and he steps in real close, and as he's like sort of trying to distract you by being in your face, he's going to reach into your pockets where he saw you getting your shit out.
All right, let him try.
Well, Kenna, should we get going?
What is your rush? Jeez, Shale.
I'm just like I'm picturing it in my mind like they're just like rah, like kind of wrestling each other, and we just like step off the boat as they just like wrestle.
No, so he reaches his hand into underneath your coat and sort of pats you in some like looking for your pockets, but he doesn't find it, and so he sort of pushes you back, and he says, "You're here for a ride, not to play around in my head, you weird creepo. What are you doing?"
Sir,
all right, so
this
is what he does. As he tries to like grope me, Malachi like takes a step backwards to the side and he says, "Unhand me, you fiend!" and fucking brings his hand back and just pushes it forward in classic force push style and casts Gust. And I'm just gonna throw this motherfucker off his own boat.
Oh no! Oh no!
This fucking massive gale of wind just fucking reverberates out from my hand.
Oh my god.
Okay, so we're
it's a 16 straight check.
No,
Saving.
you're gonna get that, man.
He's gonna do it.
He knock his ass off the fucking boat. It kind of rocks in the water as a fucking the waves circulate from you and from his splash, and the air around sort of stills as everybody turns and looks at the fucking side of the commotion. As the guys in the water, oh my good God, there's a dang old wizard up in here. I can't even
I wave, I wave out, nothing to see here, folks, nothing to see here. And then I'll look over to Shale and kind of like point my eyes over at the pole, and I'll say, do you mind, dear boy? We do have a ways yet to go, yes.
I'm gonna like shake my head and like pull out my flask and hand it to Shale.
I'll take a swig and grab the pole. All right, Malachi.
I shall too take a swig.
How you want to be. I mean, any elf is as good as him, right?
I imagine you're a cut above his jib.
Well, I swear don't you dare touch my stick, you bunch of hoodlums. I'm going to report you to the council after this. I'm going to get her name. Don't you dare touch my pole. You got to have this asshole wear the pole.
Well,
please, sir, you are
good luck with that, dear man. Sorry.
I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna help him up because he's like threatening and say, "Sir, you are being belligerent. Let me help you." And I'll try and help him out of the water.
And well, thank you, ma'am. You guys just come into town. I guess you don't know how things work around here. You know, when somebody has something, you got to share it with them. That's just how we doing around here. I mean, I'm trying to just get a little something out of you. And you going to knock me down into the water like, wait a minute, how many just I'm gonna tell you?
I'll just give him a silver piece, or like, no, not a silver piece. I'll give him a copper and be like, be on your way.
On your way, like out of his own boat, like.
So he's standing there, dripping water onto the ground, in a puddle in his boat. Standing there, all drenched, hair looking all fucked up, hat floating in the water on a string that he has tied to his neck, and he's holding this copper piece, and he looks down at it, and he's looking at it, and he just doesn't take his eyes off it, and you could tell he's pissed off just by the way he's standing, but he's like trying to keep it cool, and he's staring at this bitch.
Okay. I'm gonna use suggestion on him.
Yeah, burn them slots. Let's do this shit.
Yeah. So
Let's
I'm
do
just gonna
it.
say, everything's all right. Just take us along. And I'll as I kind of cast the spell, I'll just put a gold piece in his hand.
Oof.
Oh.
Holy mall.
Well, I tell you, he go on, and he puts the money in his pouch, and he picks up the stick, and he starts to roll as he's just saying, they won't tell me to come on down to the library, and they won't tell me to go on down over here, and they're not even going to share their drugs, and I don't even know why I'm doing this. My old lady tell me I got to have a job. All I really want to do is
silence, please. We gave you the gold. Now be quiet.
Calm down, Kenna. It's fine.
I can't take it anymore.
My dear girl, then why on earth did you pull him back aboard?
I don't want to cause any trouble in this city. I just want to have fun.
Well,
very well.
You'll have to find the radiance for that.
Shall we be moving along?
Yes.
So he rolls you up to the library at this point, and he turns around and he says, well, do you guys want to go to the bar now, or you want to come on to this library? We're here.
Bar!
No, dear sister. We should at least figure out about this city of light before we go off cavorting.
Oh, but
we
learn so much more with a drink in our system.
By my count, you have at least 5, my dear.
Oh, 5 schmive. You know I have a taste for the drink.
All the while he's like chewing, you just see like blue spittle kind of like rolling down his chin as he does so, mixing into his beard, turning the red and orange into kind of a purplish magenta.
What was our boatman's name?
We didn't get it.
We have no idea.
I want to ask him and say things.
Oh, well, my name's Harburn.
Thank you very much for your service, Harburn. We will, if we need you in the future, we will definitely look for you. You were quite the boatman. I appreciate your work.
Well, if you just find anybody in Red Sash, they'll be able to do about as good a job as I can do. I mean, that's what we do.
Well, we'll seek you out if we need you specifically.
Yes, but don't hold your breath as Malachi steps off of the
Jesus.
boat.
Oh, he had to when he fell in the water, though.
I'll like snarl at him, or do, and I'll like walk away.
Couple of asshole fucking gnomes.
No doubt.
This
Holy.
man's trying to talk to his people.
I'm trying to be nice to this guy. Y'all are just. Oh man. So
Told you
a drink before we read.
Indeed. I'll pass Shale the flask and you can pass it around.
What's in? Is it Fireball?
Of course.
Nice.
Yeah, of course.
I had a feeling it was. I wish I had some tonight.
It's okay. I have reserves in my.
Okay, let me just go ahead and ask you this right now. How many drinks is that this morning?
Oh,
That would be 6 for me. Yeah.
But
But,
go ahead and get you to make a Constitution save for me on that one.
Oh yeah, girl.
But
Malachi will take the flask, and you'll notice, like, as he brings it to his lips, yeah.
yeah, buddy, I told you I was a pro drinker.
I didn't say it was a. Oh, you blazed the check. Nice. So no problem.
I can't roll above
yeah.
a 3, and look at what.
Yeah, I got that's a 21 with my con, so yeah.
So okay, so I love the progression here, man. So we went from cute little Kenna, who was like the baby, to this rowdy, shit talking.
I'm like
And
Lindsay Lohan when she grew up.
dude,
Ah.
you're Lindsay Lohan in the phrase when people were like, ugh.
I feel like Malachi may have been a slight bad influence here, possibly. Just maybe.
Okay, so as you guys, were you getting off? You're getting off the library, right?
Yeah, we're off.
Okay.
We're off the boat now.
So you guys are walking away. As you kind of get a distance away from the gondola, you hear the guy calling out, "Oh, you rat bastards! I can't believe you did that to me. I can't believe you'd come in there and tell me what to do like that. And he's shaking his hand and yelling at y'all once the spell wears off, and he knows he's fucking with him like that. But as you approach, he took you to the main spot. So there's like a long.
Wait. I'm like really annoyed with this dude. So I want to cast color spray and blind this motherfucker.
Oh my god, we are awesome.
Okay, so as you turn around and shoot this fucking rainbow about your hand as he's yelling,
It's gonna look like fire actually, just because that's my thing.
a flaming rainbow.
Yeah, flaming rainbow.
Fuck yes,
A flame bow.
I'm so fucking. That is incredible. Okay, so as you blast him with the fucking flame bow, he and he falls into the boat again. You hear he falls into the water again. You hear a splash.
Yeah, I'll cackle as I walk away.
And there's some dudes running up to y'all with like spears and armor and stuff.
Oh shit. So they're like running up to us like they're part of the city. I'll be like, "Oh, sirs, calm down. This man was being belligerent and trying to attack my brother."
Malachi's kind of looking up at these individuals running around, and he's looking down at his fingernails, and he's like, "You know, we really don't have time to be arrested, dear sister."
So basically, they're running up to you now, man. They're like 15 feet away. You can tell
I'll say, "Get him," and I'll point to the boatman and say, "He was attacking us."
I'll look over at her as she slurs her words slightly, and I'll say, "My dear, I doubt that ruse will work. How far away are we from the library now?"
Maybe a football field, because there's like a large sort of garden-y park thing in between you and there, but there was guards on both sides of the park and stuff. In the trees, within, wandering about. But
up high, right? You said there were like verandas and shit up high. Like, how far away are those?
So there's one on the other side of the water that's probably closer than the one on the library, just because of the park in front of you. But you know, why don't you give me a D100 and call high or low, and I'll say there'll be some on the right or left within fleeing distance if you want. But I mean, I would say it's kind of that I'll give you that.
I have a 500-foot range. Am I good or no?
Oh well, shit! You didn't say nothing about no 500 feet, man. I thought you were talking.
I was trying to keep it on the DL here, but like I know I was trying to use leading questions, but we were good.
I said a fucking football field, so yeah, man, you're straight on 500.
Up. I'm looking for up. I'm trying to go up.
Well, even moving at an angle vertically, you can get 500 feet. Yeah, you're straight.
300 at a 45-degree angle.
There's some balconies above the, third floor or so of the library in front of you, and it does have wings on both sides that sort of jut out. So that also gives you a little bit of leeway as well. And there's some second level balconies on there. So.
All right, so this is what happens, right? Malachi's looking at these guys coming. They're a little ways off still. He turns and looks up at Shale and he says, "Sorry, my boy, you'll have to find your own way." And then he turns around and he says something in the guttural speak of Draconic. It snaps his fingers, and like there's this like line that sort of like pierces its way from about his head height all the way to the floor, and around it like sends out like this mirage like ripples, and then he fucking like reaches forward and reaches into that line and he pulls it open on one side and open on the other side, and there's this oval there that's just like this starscape within. And he turns and he looks at his sister and he says, "Come now, my dear," and grabs you by your wrist and just jaunts straight through it. And up there on the balcony, the same kind of thing happens, and he just reaches out from inside and opens it up, and whoop, we're up there now. That's Dimension Door, by the way.
Sweet.
Unfortunately, Shale, you're now left down there to deal with, he knows you can fly, though.
That's fine. I'll just use greater invisibility and turn invisible.
Okay, so let me. I'm sorry, brother. I hate to jack a baller description like that because it sure was baller. But you can see this roll right here. What level is Dimension Door, man?
4.
Okay, so you got counterspelled.
Huh?
As the guy running up to you saw you start to do magic, he raised his spear and it lit up, and he cast counter.
Oh yeah, portent. No, he did.
Oh,
portent.
You change it with the portent.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
Yeah. If he's trying to counterspell me, I'll portent that.
Okay. Well, yeah, he definitely counterspelled you. Okay, so but then he failed his roll, so you got a portent on that. That's straight. And then man,
I'll give him a wink as I see him as I see this little pebble underneath his foot that he stumbles on at the last moment and fucks up his incantation. I give him a little wink as I step to the door.
Super legit. Okay, and then he's locking eyes with Shale as he's falling, trying to catch himself with the spear, and that motherfucker disappears too. So. Because when you said get the boat guy, the second guy split off and ran off to go get the fucking boat guy. So he wasn't paying attention to y'all to get his counterspell off on fucking Shale. So
like it.
That was a one-shot chance on him, and I rolled high. That you damn important. That's terrible. I was going to jack you so hard. All right, so
we're on the balcony now.
Yeah, you can look down and you can see a beautiful lush garden, many colored plants, beautiful trees, beautiful patterns on the ground of different arcane sigils and stories you can see depicted on some of the different areas. It's pretty kick-ass.
Sweet.
And then you can see the building around you, which is extremely fine, well, extremely large, but there's no cracks. It's the stonework, but the masonry is so fine. There's no space, but the bricks are extremely large. And this spot is not ramshackle at all. It's very extremely fine quality mason work with nice flooring put in and everything. It's super legit. Nice tiles.
So I'm going to turn to my brother and say, brother, we might be wanted in this city. I think we should put on a disguise or hide under your cloak. I'll take out my disguise kit and put on a wig.
Ah, I love it. Malachi will say, yes, dear sister. Now, please do, though. Step away from the railing. We don't want to be spotted. And then I'm going to take off my, like, exorbitant robe and, like, flip it inside out. And on the other side, it's got, like, the plain clothing cloth, right? And I just put that shit on, so it looks like just a commoner's robe now over my shit.
All right, that sounds good. And which one of you wants to make the roll for me?
Oh, my disguise is like legit.
No, I'm not worried about the disguise roll. I'm talking about the y'all finna walk into this room, right? Because you're all on a balcony. So who wants to make the roll for what y'all gonna walk into?
Oh, what do you want us to roll? Go ahead. I can't roll worth shit.
That's a good point, but maybe you want low. This ain't a normal roll. I ain't telling you shit. Just give me a roll.
Can we both roll?
No. There's only one room.
Okay. I'll roll. Okay, Malachi?
Yeah, go for it.
You got a 9.
It's a nice middle of the ground roll.
Okay. That's cool. So whenever y'all are ready to walk in, I know what's in there.
Well, I'm still like really far away though, so.
Yes, sir. We're gonna jump
to.
I
would.
Okay. No worries. You go ahead. I'll chill. It's cool.
I think we would wait for Shale.
Well, I mean, your boy went a little bit far away. Plus, you went 2 to 3 stories up. So that may or may not be the most solid plan.
We went like 200 feet up, man. That's like 10 stories, 20 stories. What we need to do is, my dear girl, we must find a directory and then communicate to our good friend Shale where we are. Yes.
How should we communicate to him?
Well, it has come to my attention that you may have the skill required. You have that bit of copper wire, yes? You still carry that around, dear?
Yeah. That only works for 120 feet.
What?
Yeah, you have to see me too, so it's not gonna work.
Yeah.
Sending is interdimensional. I mean, anywhere in the dimension.
I can see your face right now because I know you have those distance troubles with 5e system, and I'm like, I can just see you blowing up right now.
Yeah, messages you have to point at them.
Is it a different spell?
Sending is different. Message is lower. Sending is higher.
Oh, you have message. Oh,
yeah.
Sending is first. Yeah. Okay. Well,
you got this, bro?
I'm afraid not, my dear. We'll just have to hope he can catch up.
And with
Shale's very capable.
And with that, you hear a rustling at the door, and it begins to open. And you're gonna cut over to Shale in the wood, creeping up off away from this
nice
apparent guard situation. What do you do, man? What do you got going on here?
I'd like to just slowly make my way over there and see if there are any individuals that look like they either work at the library or are I don't know, like what do they have, like some kind of monks or scribes or something like that work at the library?
Oh, dude, scribes. This is the place for scribes. There's no place in the world with more scribes than this place.
Well,
there's all those other things too, but I mean, scribes, dude. Yes, there's like scribes everywhere.
Right.
There's like people coming off boats right now, little scrub ass scribes everywhere, dude. That's what's up.
I would just probably get as far as I could. I think it lasts like a minute or so, and just get like well away from that kind of hot zone, and then just disguise myself as a scribe. Probably just like a really human with uh like close cropped brown hair, clean shaven, and just like brown eyes, just really simple. And whatever robes they're wearing, or I'm not sure what their attire is, but I would just disguise myself as soon as this bell ends, and then continue on to the library.
Okay, so you're going in like in the front gate, in the front door.
Yeah, and I would just be like keeping my eyes out for my two companions.
Okay, well, you don't see your two companions, but you do see some more of these guards with the breastplate and the spear. They bear the sigil of the snake. That's the symbol of House Ophia.
Okay.
So
Good to know.
they look pretty scary, but they're all elves like you. They have the long ass hair behind their helmets that cover their. They have masks that cover their face fully, so you can't see their face. And they're posted up from here and there, but they don't really move unless something goes down. Like somebody shooting a flame bow.
Cool.
Yeah. So so you get in there, no problem, man. Their scribes are coming in. It's the morning time. People are coming in. It's not a big deal as long as you're staying in the main areas. But let me hear from you once you get into main area. Where are you going to head at this point, having not seen your companions and seeing people, sort of filter off to their spots where they go? Like, what are you going to do?
I would try and determine where I could find information on the City of Light. It sounds like some sort of religious thing. I'm not sure. I would probably kind of see where somebody else is going and maybe follow them if it seems like it's a logical direction in that kind of vein of thought sort of thing.
So you're going to look for a specific individual that looks like one of those types of people, or how are you finding this person?
Yeah, I don't know.
Random.
Is there markings? Like, does it show where like there's sections or something in the library or what? Or no, actually, I'm gonna head over to like the front desk and like ask like the clerk or somebody, whoever's working there.
Excellent, man. I'm so fucking glad you said that. I was worried you were going to try to just ball in here like you knew what you was doing.
No, dude.
That was going to be hit or miss, man. Okay, cool. So you stroll up to the person with your disguise. At this point, what are you going to say to them, man? They're clacking away. There's not really a lot of there's no line or anything. So they're at their desk ready to help you, but they don't really pay you much mind as you come up and sort of mill around at the desk.
Okay. I'll say excuse me, I'm looking for the uh any research. I'm looking to research something.
What is your research pertaining to? And this elfin lady doesn't even look up as she's filling out a chart in front of her, and she moves her half frame glasses up closer on her face as they keep falling on her nose as she writes in her ledger.
Okay, I'll just the City of Light. I'm looking for any histories or tomes involved with that.
She looks at this. She stops writing like immediately when you say City of Light, and she looks up at you, and she doesn't say anything. She just kind of stares at you for a minute. She's staring at you.
Where can I find anything like that? I've just come in. I've heard of the great knowledge of this this library.
She says, "You're cute, honey." Okay. Hey, why don't she chuckles. She pushes her glasses up. She says, "Why don't you?" And she points back over here, behind you and to the right, far back, past a long row of doors and windows. And she says, "Do you see that red tree?" And there's along the center is a courtyard, um, indoors but outdoors. So like you go outside and there's like a stand of trees inside.
Yeah, cool.
And so at the end of it, there's a bunch of different colors trees, and at the end of it is a bunch of red ones. And she says, "Do you see that red tree?"
Yes.
Look for a door over there. called Magical Studies. So when you
I'll,
come out, why don't you come by? We can get a drink. And she chuckles and goes back to writing in her scribe.
I'll kind of like that, like awkward, like oh, okay, and kind of like push up like whatever glasses or like kind of adjust my like look like he's feeling uncomfortable from that, and then just like yes, I'll take you up on that offer, and then thank you very much, and then he kind of just like will shuffle away towards that direction.
Okay, we're gonna cut back to the other folks now. So the door is opening. How do you guys react as you have a moment to? So I'm gonna go to Jen, then I'm gonna go to Nick. What do you do as soon as the door starts to react? One moment, just what do you do?
Do we see anything as the door's opening?
You see the door opening. What are you gonna do?
I'm not gonna do anything.
Okay, she does nothing.
I'm
Nick, what
gonna
do you do?
ready action.
There
That's
you go. What action?
You know, spell casting, I guess.
Okay, that'll do for now. Nick, what are you gonna do, man?
Sorry, I was across the room and had you on speakerphone.
That's okay, brother. You're back. The door is opening. You have only an instant to react. What are you gonna do?
I will snap my fingers and with a mirage-like shutter, become invisible.
Nice. I'm all alone.
I'm so sorry, dude. I was muted. Y'all didn't hear none of that. As what did you?
No, we didn't hear shit.
Okay, so as Malachi goes invisible and Kenna gets in her kung fu karate stance that Crowlash taught her, you hear the door opening and you hear a voice coming out of there saying, "What the heck is all this commotion out here?"
And
We can make a commotion.
An old ass halfling comes strolling through the door as it comes opening. And this dude has like dwarf level beardage going on. He's hunched over, Hunchback of Notre Dame style. He's got a stick he's leaning on, and he's moving like super duper slow. And he's got like an old squirrel on his shoulder. And squirrel's old as shit too. Gray squirrel, baby. Beard on it, Fu Manchu style.
Sir, don't mind us.
Well, how did you get up here, young lady? And then he stops and he kind of leans closer to you and he says, "Well, you're kind of cute."
Oh, thanks.
What are you doing up here, though?
Oh, I was told this is the quickest way to the library, so I thought I'd come up here.
And he starts to look around, and the squirrel jumps off his shoulder and runs over and starts sniffing around where Malachi is. The squirrel's over there sniffing around, and the old guy looks over there, and then for a moment, then he looks back to Kenna and says, "Library, huh?"
Oh yeah, I'm doing some research for a friend.
For a friend, huh? And he looks all pouty faced.
Oh yeah. Would you like me to do some research on you?
He gives a sly smile, and he steps back, like towards the doorway, and he says, "Why don't you come on out, whoever's over there?"
What are you talking about?
So first off, as soon as the squirrel starts moving towards Malachi, fucking this blinged up one-eyed raven flies out of a nearby tree from inside this garden and gets down on the ground in between the two and starts pecking at the earth in front of the squirrel, kind of blocking its way.
Awesome. So we have like a standoff here. He's standing up, he's showing his little claws, and the bird's like, "Mar!" He's like, "Oh," pecking at him, like, "Step back."
So I'm gonna try and be deceitful and be like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I'm here all alone." So
dear, do you know where you are?
not in the slightest. Can you help me, please? I'm just a poor innocent girl.
If your friend will come out, I guess I could. Chippies, come on, Chippies. And the squirrel hisses and then runs up onto his shoulder in like a blur.
I'm just kind of gonna keep looking at him quizzingly, not trying to give Malachi away so that I can let Malachi make his decision about whether or not he's gonna come out.
Oh yeah, all right. So this is what Malachi does. Like you hear like this, like a sound from like the general direction that he's in. The fucking raven like turns and like flies towards him and like with wings spread wide open, caws, and then there's like this puff of smoke. He's gonna use prestidigitation. This puff of smoke, and Malachi like twirls in a circle, like wildly flailing his robes around as he reappears, just in time for the raven to land upon his outstretched hand. This like tiny little puff of smoke.
Oh, brother, there you are. I didn't realize you were here. Oh, I'm so sorry,
yes.
sir. I would have told you if I'd known that he was here.
Of course, my dear sister. I thought I would surprise you, yeah?
What a delightful surprise. Sir, this is my dear brother. He is the most finest gnome in all of the land.
Yes. Yes, my dear boy. It is I, Malachi the Magnificent, the author of Heaven's Sword, the Merwood Mystic, the savior of the Shire. At your service, and I'll do a bow with a couple of hand twirls.
Oh, that is very interesting. I like that entrance that you did there. Okay. Gnomes, huh?
Fucking RT.
Oh, come on, let's go. He turns around and he says, keep that raven away from my bird.
And where are we going, sir?
Well, you said you wanted to go to the library, right?
Oh, yes, please. Please take us to the library.
We have a particular item of interest. Perhaps you've heard of it. The City of Light, yes?
He says, oh, yes, that's definitely in the library. Come.
Yes.
Strutting in.
I think I have to shut my door. My roommate's going to yell at me again.
Okay, so at this point we'll move over to Shale, because you guys have sort of passed the old man's trial by not being too much of a dick. Shale, you have had some directions. What are you going to do?
I'll head that way.
So you make your way over this direction. You see a bunch of doors. You can't really read any of the writing on any of the doors. As you're going along towards, I presume you stay indoors and you walk along. So you're going to go along this hallway, right? And there's a bunch of doors. And as you're going along, there's nice artworks and stuff in between the different doorways. There's nice displays as you can look out, into the gardens. There's nice benches and everything. It's super legit. There's tapestries and the whole nine on that. The tile work in here is all mosaic level, man. It's all super legit on the ground and the ceiling. As you get up to the end of the hallway, there's a sort of a lone door in the corner over there, and you can actually read the writing on that one. And sure enough, it says magical studies on that motherfucker.
All right, I'll kind of.
That's what it says.
Cool. I'll kind of glance around, one last look for my companions, and if I don't see them, I'll just shrug and head through.
Yeah, you don't see anybody. There doesn't seem to be any scribes over here, man. There's nobody over on this spot in this corner of the hallway in the library entry spot. So you head up through the door. It is unlocked, so that wasn't a problem. And as you come inside, it's a super posh waiting room with like a fireplace. All the furniture is made out of very delicate wood, and cushioned very sparsely but very opulently. Everything is very finely detailed. The carpet is extremely plush. You can't even tell what it's made out of, man. It almost it feels like clouds, but it looks it's red, so it looks red. And most of the adornment on the furniture is also red, man. There's some very strange arts, man. It seems I don't know. Art isn't a big thing in most of the world, so you haven't seen a lot of art. Even if you're like into art, you've only seen like the stuff that you've been able to come around, which is usually few and far between. And there's some really strange art here. It's not like any kind of art you would ever find anywhere but here, and it's like weird geometric shapes. And it's weird, man. So if you want, you can give me an insight to like sort of interpret this art, and I'll let you add your charisma modifier to that if you want, because it's sort of a feeling type thing as you look at these art pieces in this opulent room with like there's one other door besides the one you came in, and the one you came in is pretty plain, just a standard door, standard knob, but the other one is a very beautiful wooden door with an intricate golden knob on it and a large keyhole.
Okay. Can I see anyone else in there? Or is
Oh man, this
waiting room?
this motherfucker is empty.
Okay. Well, if it's like a waiting room, I guess I would just like have a seat somewhere.
Yeah, man. So you have a seat. Oh, you made the insight. Is that your 14?
Yeah, 14.
14 total?
Yeah.
Okay, man. I'll say that the pieces sort of they feel somehow violent and somehow restrictive in some way. Like the way the shapes are put together and the way the colors are blended. You can tell that with that roll. And so you're gonna just chill in the waiting room?
Yeah, and just see what happens. Probably just like not sure what to do. Probably just sit for at least like a couple of minutes just to see if anybody comes in, like a welcoming sort of thing. And yeah, I'd probably just sit and observe.
Okay, there's a couple of books on the table. They're more like pamphlets or like paperbacks, but I mean they're book size. So you can look at those if you want to. And we're gonna cut to the other two as they follow this old man into his room.
His room?
Yeah, as you come in, you see it's basically a bedroom. It's pretty well adorned. It's almost at y'all's level of opulence, but not quite. I would say one or two steps below your level, because you guys are like, you're Eisensteins. That's you got to be at the top tier to be that level of opulence. But this dude ain't far, man. His shit is pretty legit.
I'll compliment him. Like, oh, what a nice, quaint place you have.
Yeah, it's quite good taste.
Oh, thank you. The elves are very good with their craftsmanship. We are blessed here in the towers. And he'll turn as his squirrel runs over to a cabinet, and he disappears underneath it. And he'll say, "I didn't get your names."
And sir, how did you come about living in such in the towers?
A fair question, young lady. My name is Chubb. What's your name?
My name is Ambrosia.
Ambrosia.
It's a coincidence.
And you, young sir?
Malachi's already given his introduction.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
he kind of
Malachi the Magnificent. And then he kind of shakes his head as you kind of look at him dumbfounded by him not remembering your badass entrance, and he says, "Oh yes, the magnet,
Malachi, the
Yes,
Magnificent.
Malachi. I'm sorry, it's hard to remember
Yes.
things
Yes,
sometimes.
yes, old timer. Must have the mind sickness, yes.
Did I
Perhaps
tell
you should have
my
that looked after. Chubb.
Oh, yes, yes.
Perhaps you could lead us or show us on our way, yes?
The library,
You do
yes.
have
Yes,
some business.
come. And he kind of trudges off at his slow but steady pace. Taking you out of the room. If you follow, the squirrel will run out of the cabinet and join him once he leaves the room.
I'll follow him.
Okay, so he takes you into the hallways, which are terrifying. They sort of seem endless. Like you look down on both sides, and it's like you can't see the end.
Yeah.
And he says, come, I'll show you the way to the library. And he just begins trudging off to the left.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, to doom or glory, I follow.
Yep, so you guys are just following him along. It takes, I would say, 45 seconds to maybe a whole minute of trudging along. And the whole time you're looking down this fucking hallway, and it just looks like more hallway, like kind of like a horizon. It's fucking ridiculous. Doors on both sides.
And
I
sir,
recognize the enchantment.
If you wanted to make an Arcana check, you could see if it was. Yeah, man, you could do that.
and sir, you do know where we're going, don't you?
Was that your 8 Arcana check, brother?
It's a 15.
Okay, 15. Yeah, man. So you definitely are. Just because you're fucking so smart and everything, you would presume it's sort of similar to the. It's just like Morden Kanan stuff, like the backpack and everything. That was Heward. Anyways, it's like the extra dimensional space type thing, sort of like a Doctor Who style.
Yeah, he'll turn to Ken and he'll say, dear, it's larger on the inside, and he'll give him her a wink.
Yeah, and he says, "Oh yes, my dear, I'll never forget the library." He looks back at Malachi, kind of like with a wink. But he looks at your raven, and you. Do you have your bird in, or do you leave your bird outside?
Oh hell no, he's on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so you guys both have your familiars like chilling, so he like gives you that. I know where the library is.
Mm-hmm.
So we're just walking still?
Oh yeah, okay. So after about the minute passes, this kind of out of nowhere before you is a doorway. Boom! It pops, and there it is. And he says, "Here we are." And
yes.
He
Thank you so much.
hits it with his stick, and it kind of creaks open, and he says, "Come in," and he goes in like he walks a lot faster at this part. Yes, about 10 minutes. He walks a little bit faster. He struts in, and he plops himself down on the furniture inside. It's super opulent in here. It's like a small waiting room with like nice furniture, kind of similar to what I described with Shale, but much smaller.
Okay.
And he plops himself down on a big chair and says, "Come."
Yeah, I'll go on in there. I'm looking around for like a way that this makes sense as an entrance to the library.
There's books everywhere, or yeah?
No, it's just like a small room with a bunch of couches and chairs in it.
Okay. Well, sir, where are all the books?
Oh, we're not at the library yet. This is a big place.
I see that.
Perhaps it's just a lift or some such.
Yes, I knew you were the smart one. Come. Have a seat.
scowl.
It may take a few minutes.
Yep. I'll go. I'll plop myself down and kind of idly look about the room.
Yeah, I'll sit down next to Malachi since I'm kind of tired. I'll just lay my head on his shoulder.
Okay, so as you guys sit down in it, the door sort of kind of closes up, boom, and then the whole thing sort of starts to shake a little bit, and you start feeling movement.
Oh.
And it's shaking. It's okay, it's just moving. And it sort of settles down a little bit, but you can still feel a little bit of vibration.
Good vibration.
Probably, yeah.
As Kenna lays her head on Malachi's shoulder, like Bernard, who's on the other shoulder, kind of like fluffs out his feathers around his neck and like goes to like make a jealous peck at Kenna's head, but Malachi waves him off with a hound. He says, "Now, Bernard, behave yourself."
And with that, we're gonna cut over to Shale. And Jen and Nick, you guys can go ahead and take the break after Shale's team. We'll take a 5 or 6, get a little bit extra. I'm sorry about that, Shale.
No worries.
All right, so you're chilling in this room, man. It's been like 10, 15 minutes, creeping on 15 minutes. Nobody's come in. It's like, what are you even doing here, man? How are you feeling? What are you thinking about doing? Are you still just chilling in a seat? Like, how are you reacting?
I'm getting antsy, and so you said there's a door, a fancy door, and was there any other entrances or exits?
Just the one you came in and the fancy door.
I'm gonna hit up the fancy door.
You try to open it?
Yep.
It don't open. Like it's locked.
Is there any indication as to how I can open it?
Well, there's a fancy keyhole on it.
Yeah.
Like a big golden keyhole thing.
Okay.
Well, it looks like a big thing, with a normal size keyhole, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's fancy.
Yeah. Not much I can do right now.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen, man. As you're over there looking at the door and like fiddling with it, not necessarily picking it because you didn't say you were trying to pick the lock, but you're handling it and looking at it. The door opens behind you, and you hear some voices. So you have an instant to react. What are you gonna do?
I'm just gonna stand straight up and kind of just look back at them. Just stand up and kind of like turn around, look.
Okay, so you see, 4 dudes. Well, one female among them. There's 2 elves and 2 humans. I'm sorry, there's 3 females and 1 male. That's my bad. So they all come in, and the male is saying, why are we doing this? We should do our own research. We should not rely on. And then they see you and they all stop and they just kind of quietly stare at you, like, what are you going to do?
I'll just say, hi, are you trying to get, I'm new, I don't know how to get into the, to the books. Do you know how to get in here? I'm stuck in here.
So this big, olive-skinned, she's kind of beautiful, man. Oh, you play League. Okay, so she looks like Alawi.
Okay.
She's like big, olive-skinned, just stocky, man. And she steps forward and she says, who are you and where are you from? As the door behind her clicks shut, as everybody kind of lines up against you. And with that, we'll let you respond and then we'll take our break.
My name is Zerth Kaiman, and I'm trying to do some research on the City of Light. I was directed in here, and I don't know where to go. The door's locked. Do you know what to do?
Let me not end it right there. Let me ask you one thing. Did you use disguise self, the magic spell?
It's like my at will thing, yeah.
So is that a spell like ability, or is it like an actual spell that you cast with the thing?
It's like an invocation thing. It's a Mask of Many Faces. It's called. So it's like pact magic. It's not the same as like normal. So I can do it at will whenever I want, sort of thing.
Can it be dispelled?
I have no idea, to be honest. I would assume probably.
So one of the fucking dudes behind you like waves a hand and says, "Be gone with it," in Draconic or whatever. He says some shit and tries.
It's an investigation versus to determine if it's like a disguise or not, sort of thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, fuck. What against? What's the number?
17, whatever mine is.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, so it's like, yeah. It's like if it seems off, I'll read it.
What? Oh, I didn't type it right. That's why. Sorry, freaking. Well, now I broke it. Okay, brother. Whatever. We'll take our fucking break here. That's straight. They seem to not have fully bought your story, but we're okay for now. So yeah, man. We'll take a break. Yeah, man. They totally know you're full of shit. Totally. But yeah, we'll come back to that. Meet back here in 10 minutes. So everybody can take a break.
Jen, Nick, you there, guys?
Huh?
Damn.
What?
Oh, I I was asking if the other dudes was there.
Marky Mark and the funky. Oh, okay. What oh, jeez.
It's been a minute.
I don't know what I was expecting with that link, but that was great. Rocking out to Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch.
So if you're ready to go, man, we can jump back into your scene if you want.
Yeah, sure, that's cool. Let's do it.
All right, man, that's a bet. So these dudes, they're looking at you real crazy. The two in the back, they're looking at you and they say something's not right. And the big one up front says, "Yeah, I know." And she slams her hands into her fist, her fist into her hand, and she says, "You're not going to trick us. Tell us what the heck's going on." And she points a big finger at you.
All right. It's the truth. What more do you want from me?
And one of the guys in the back, or the guy says, "I told you, this isn't right. There's no part of the library called magical studies. Are you guys, I'm telling you, we shouldn't be here." And he turns around and he tries to open the door and he says, "What the hell?" And he starts to yank on it and he's like, he starts to visibly freak out. He's like, "I can't open it." And the big one who's pointing at you looks back a little bit, and the other one sort of dressed a little bit more or less opulently. There's two. The big one is dressed a little bit more normal. They're wearing like, shirt and pants. The other two are wearing robes. So she goes over and like sort of watch out, and pushes the guy aside and starts trying to open it, and it doesn't open. And she looks back and shrugs her shoulders.
Okay, like so they're all kind of looking away, sort of thing.
Yeah, they were looking away. Well, the big one looked away for a moment, but she kept her eye on you almost the entire time.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
the rest of them were paying attention to the door. So you had a moment if you wanted to do something. You could take it.
I was gonna go big or go home and just make everything like from my feet, like or like 5 feet in front of me and behind me, just look like empty expanse of nothingness with hallucinatory terrain.
So like erase your existence by making it just look like blank terrain.
Yeah, like wherever I'm standing is just like it just cut off. Like I don't know if you like have you played Fallout 4 before?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, like when they're like he's like walking up the things and like going to each scene sort of thing. It's like that. Like
Oh yeah, in the
as soon as
brain
you get to
thing.
the end of it, it's just like nothingness. Like so
Okay.
5 feet in front of me, it's just like and behind like 5 feet and then back
So
is
there's a
just
big
nothing.
square of nothingness floating there now where you are.
Like the entire room behind me.
Okay.
Like behind my toes is gone. So
Okay. So but you're still there or you're disappeared too?
I think I would disappear. I'm not really
Okay, I'm
sure
sorry.
though.
I was mixed up on side. Okay, so yeah, man. So yeah, that's fine. Well, I don't know if you're gonna disappear, but since you said that's how you wanted to do it, we're gonna play it that way, and we'll try to rule it out later. But we'll say that's cool, man. So two of them are the big one who turns back around and sees that as they're like shaking on the door. She's gonna say, "Look," and they all kind of turn and see that, and we're gonna cut scene over to Kenna and Malachi, if y'all are here.
Sup. I guess Malachi's not back.
All right, we're gonna cut back over to Shale. Sorry, Kenna.
Damn.
So, they start to look at the area that you're in, and they say, cover us. We can't get out of the room. This is all part of the trials. We will succeed. And
Fucking knew it.
this is this is the guy in the back. He's saying this. He's like, it's a trap, but we will succeed.
Okay, I'm typing other motherfuckers in the trial are here. In my notes.
Yeah, man. So both the dudes in the back say, it's a spell. It's a spell. He's hiding himself with the spell. And the big one is going to charge through the space where you were.
Okay. Can I like sidestep and then so like when they cross the threshold I look different? Can I do that? Like use my disguise self like at will again and kind of change my appearance like when they're kind of talking blah blah, blah and then as he's charging I want to like sidestep out of the way and like
Okay.
just like switch what I look like sort of thing.
Okay. So the way you imagine it is once they come inside, then they can see you again.
Yeah, I'll be like this
Okay.
fucking like I don't know like creepy hooded black and fucking thing. I don't know something creepy that would freak
Oh
them out.
shit. Okay, so she comes storming through the spot where you were. As you narrowly avoid her, you can feel that, man. That would have hurt if she
Oh,
crashed.
yeah.
And she hits the door that she can't see because it's like invisible right behind you. Smashes right into it with a loud "Ugh!" And you see that the reverberations through her body, but she takes it like a fucking champ. And she turns around and like just goes like kind of into a Wolverine stance, like a predator stance. And then she looks around and she sees you over there and she like motions towards you and she points and she says, "Something's here." And yeah, I guess she doesn't know. Does sound would leave it, right? Or nothing leaves it.
Let me look. I think sound would leave it. Yeah, like when you cross through, you know that it's an illusion, but standing behind it, you don't, kind of thing. So like, but so like she crosses it and then it looks normal again, but it's still like this creepy motherfucker standing there.
Yeah. So as she sort of squares up against you, her companions sort of all prepare themselves, and the other one in plain clothes turns their attention from the door and begins to stalk towards you. And we're going to cut over towards Kenna and Malachi as you guys rattle along on this thing that you're in that's taking you to the library, hopefully. So do y'all want to...
kind of like nods off a few times.
Okay, Kenna, you are in an elevator with two sleeping old people. What are you going to do?
I'm going to pinch Malachi.
Like he like spits out like something like this glob of like blue shit that hits the ground as he starts like choking and then he spits this thing out. He's like,
Are you okay,
my
brother?
girl. My goodness, dear. How rude.
I was just making sure you were okay.
I suppose I am. As he kind of looks down at himself, and he's gonna kind of like squirm out of his cloak. He'll stand up and he'll flip it back inside out so that he can have his beautiful colors on the outside. As he puts it back on, he kind of like steps forward and kicks the little glob underneath the love seat we were sitting on. He like turns around. He's like, my goodness, what? How far down is this? I only remember our ascent being a couple hundred feet. We have to have been traveling for a time now, yes?
It's been about 2.5 minutes at this point, I would think.
No, Malachi, you were just sleeping.
Oh, well. Very well. He'll take his seat again.
So shortly after that, the motion sort of grinds to a halt. And as it sort of shudders, as it stops, the old guy sort of oh, we've made it, and he slides off the seat that's pretty much way too big for him because he's a fucking tiny halfling, like you guys. This is elf size shit, in case you were wondering. he gets his stick. You know, he starts walking back towards the door.
Oh, good sir. Thank you so much for guiding us through this enormous library. We would have been surely lost without you.
He chuckles. Yes, I'm sure you would have been, Ambrosia.
You think my name is a joke, sir?
Oh, no, I would never presume to insult the boss of Head House Immortalum. And he gives you a sly wink.
I wink back at him.
Now, I thought I remembered you giving him a false name.
She gave
Chum.
him Ambrosia.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
making sure.
That's why you
Malachi
thought
remembered.
that I was Ambrosia, yeah.
Yeah. Everybody know that name, shit. And you a short ass little ginger gnome, even though your hair ain't ginger right now, you still got the freckles.
Oh,
Right.
God, I'm so fucking tired. I didn't realize that you did give him a false name, and then I forgot. Anyhow, never mind. Continue.
Is it that late?
No, I've just had about 2 hours of sleep.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah, it's all good. Let's continue.
Poor Malachi.
Yeah, so he's leading you guys out. As you come out of the room, you do see a fucking library. Finally, the stacks are to the damn roof. You can see streams of light coming in through the large windows, plain windows, and there's long rows of tables that aren't stacked with books. They're all super clean. You see some brooms floating around in the air, sweeping up. There's some people, but not a lot. And everybody will kind of look. Actually, give me a perception to see what you can see.
And here we go. I'm gonna roll another 3.
Yeah.
I can't help but open my mouth as I see this enormous library, something that I've never really seen before.
Y'all are rolling real well.
Oh,
I haven't
nice.
rolled above a 7 all night.
How many portents do you have right now? Like 2, or do you get any more?
I have 1 left. No, I get them after I rest. Am I muted? No, I'm not. Okay.
Yeah. So what did you say, Kenna? Did you want to say something about the library?
I just said that I couldn't help but have my mouth open. I was
your mouth is big.
gaping at this enormous library.
Did you say something, Malachi?
No, I just commented on how poorly I always roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So he says, "Come, I'll show you the way."
Thank you, sir.
Yes, dear Sugar Lump. Now, you are taking us towards the studies of the City of Light, yes?
And as he walks, he says, he doesn't stop or turn back. I mean, he says, "What do you know of the City of Light, young one?"
Ah, young, huh? Ah, imagine I am twice your age, good sir. But nonetheless, I will answer your question. I simply wish to study this miraculous city. I've heard of legends. I just wish to know the truth of them. Whatever truth this library could uncover, that is.
Okay, so as he's saying this, he's leading you through the stacks. Or as you're saying this, he's leading you through the stacks, and he says, "Oh, interesting, interesting. And you, young lady, what do you know of the City of Light?"
I don't know, man. Nothing. That's why I'm here.
Oh,
Dummy.
Oh! Saucy little thing she
Say
is.
that under my breath.
Oh shit!
This dude's probably the headmaster of the fucking library or some shit.
And so he's leading you. He's leading you through the library proper. Eventually, he turns to the right, and begins to go down a stack. And you see what looks like there's a wall in front of you, and it looks like there's levels of rooms and offices. They might be reading rooms. They might be like offices. It's hard to tell because of the way the windows are set up. But it looks like he's leading you back there. There's a hallway right at the end of this stack.
To death or glory, I follow.
Okay, so he leads you back up here, and he turns and he looks at the stairs, and he says, "Oh." And he looks back at you two, and he looks at the stairs, and he says, "Well, I haven't in quite some time." And he's looking at these stairs like, "Oh, fuck no." And he looks back at you guys, and he says, "Oh, whatever." And he snaps his fingers, and this like a silvery cloud sort of appears, and he jumps on top of it and starts to float up the stairs.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
It's going up.
Yeah, he goes up. So it's like a winding stairs. He goes up a landing, and then he goes up another landing, and then he's like, "You're at the next level," and he goes up like three flights.
Mm-hmm. I'll follow.
Indeed.
Death or glory.
Okay. Yeah. So after he gets to the third flight, or the third landing, he stops the little cloud thingy, and he looks back at you guys, and he says, "Best not to mention that to anyone." And it sort of disappears, and he like kind of lands back on the ground, and he starts to walk back, down the hallway. And this is a pretty nice hallway, man. It's a little bit nicer than the other ones. Like if they were reading rooms, these are definitely offices. They have the more opulent feel. And he walks all the way down past a bunch of offices, and he just keeps walking. And you guys are still following him?
Yeah, he's talking about the cloud, right? Like not to mention to anyone.
He didn't specify. So, I mean, you could think that, yeah.
Seems that way. It seems like he was embarrassed to me.
I'll just follow you.
So yeah, he leads you all the way down this hallway to a large door, and all of you see a large scroll writing on it, but you can't read it. And go ahead.
Is it in a written language?
Yes.
Draconic, Common, Gnome, Elvish, Orcish, Abyssal, Undercommon?
No.
Okay.
And he says, "We're here. Now be on your best behavior. You may end up coming out on top." And he raps on the door with his stick. And as he does, you hear, come. And the door begins to creep open. And with that, we're going to cut over to Shale. Shale, you got a big lady. She looks like she's about to tackle the hell out of you.
Hi, big lady.
What are you going to do?
I look like our good old friend, Mr. Alaton from House Imperium.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice
Yeah.
callback. If y'all don't know who Alaton is, y'all need to go check out episode 1 because that dude was creepy as hell. Okay.
So it's just like, welcome to the trials. And just like, as creepy as I fucking can. Just creep her the fuck out. Like, I don't know, just mess with her.
So she's going to try to tackle you.
Alright.
What is your AC?
14.
Well, let's hope she rolls low, right, brother?
Yep. You got that right. Where is it? Let me witness. I'm clenching.
Oh, shit.
Oh my god!
God damn, that's a nat 20, son. Okay.
Damn.
Yeah, that's a crit, dude. Okay.
Let's go.
Oh, man, I do y'all dirty sometimes. I'm sorry.
That's all
I told
good.
y'all I wasn't going to give y'all a killer game, but this shit is killer, isn't it?
Let's
Good
roll with
Lord. Okay, so yeah, she tackles the fuck out of you, man.
it. All right.
Um,
That's cool. That's cool.
oh, and then I rolled low as hell. But you're gonna take 8 damage
Okay. 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 Okay.
as
When
she tackles you to the ground.
All right. So I'm gonna use my reaction Misty Escape Archfey feature, and just like as soon as she hits me, it's just like turn to like a cloud of smoke, and then boop, teleport 60 feet. So I'm gonna like boop in somewhere in the room where I can kind of be out of the way, and then I'm invisible.
One
for
question.
a little bit.
That's amazing. Legit, you got it. Do you
Yeah,
need
what's
to
up?
make a concentration check for the illusionary terrain?
I'll just say it's gone. We'll just say it goes
Okay.
away.
So as she tackles you, it disappears and she reappears to her allies. They heard her calling from the darkness, but you're not to be seen, and she is on the ground grasping nothing. And she calls out, he was here. He disappeared. You should have seen his true face. It was terrifying. And you can roll your initiative.
Oh fuck me! I got nothing left.
He
Oh my
spent all
god!
his spells,
I
all
got
his
nothing, dude.
reactions.
I need to have a short rest.
Can I take a short rest in the middle of the combat?
You're the one who decided you wanted to appear as Alaton, the scariest individual on the planet. You could have appeared as like a friendly old little elf and be like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Let's be nice." You're like, "No, I'll be the scariest, most badass mofo I know."
I got a 10.
Okay. Um. Okay, let's mute while we're eating food, please, because I'll snap and you'll get a million disadvantages on everything. Love you.
That wasn't me.
I didn't know who it was. That's why I told you like that. Okay, so here's what we're looking at, man. The two. Wait. Yeah. The two wizards, or the two dudes in robes, shoot out of their hands to both sides of the room glitter dusts to see if anything's there. So, do you need to make a dex check to get out of that, or does that just cover the area?
I don't know.
Let me look that up real quick. I'm sorry for not being completely prepared on that.
That's cool. I'll find it too.
Right, baby.
I think that's an old spell, but
Oh, that's not 5? It's 5. Well,
no, but you know what? I like that.
Oh,
spell.
is this homebrew? Fuck.
Those are
There's,
just in 5e.
what is the fucking equivalent? Isn't it like
Fairy fire, I think.
Fairy
but-
fire?
I mean, glitter
Okay.
dust is cool too. Like I know what you're talking about. Like
I mean,
that's cool too.
that's all I want is that effect, man.
Yeah, sure. Let's go for glitter dust. Fuck it.
I like fairy fire better. I mean, I don't care,
Fairy
man. I just couldn't remember what the fucking name was called. Yeah, so they shoot this weird light out of their hands. Oh, I still need to figure out how it works, man. Pull that up for me.
Fairy fire?
It's like a really small. It's like a cube, like a 20-foot cube, I think.
Well, you're in
Fairy fire doesn't
Small
reveal
rooms.
invisible people.
It does, but you have to hit them, I think.
Yeah, dexterity saving throw.
All right. So, oops.
okay. Man, I knew I should have put my points into dexterity instead of charisma. Huh?
You got to beat a 15, man.
17, 19, yo.
Okay, good. So you managed to avoid it as these two beams shoot out, or two sort of thingies that they're shooting. Man, I've got my screens all jacked up now, so I'm looking for that fucking thing. Okay, here we go.
That does hit friendlies. But it's concentration, so they could just end it anyway. Never mind.
Is it an actual like damaging spell?
Nah, it just does the outline. It's
Yeah,
concentration, so if
That's what I
if
thought.
they didn't find anything, they can immediately end it.
Okay. I'm sorry, I was trying to double check the initiative. So there's one more person to go. The one who was on the ground who tackled you sort of stands up and readies themselves. You could tell they sort of go in that same stance again, and then it's your turn.
Ah, shit. All right. Let's blow the whole load all at once. I'm gonna drop my fuck. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna drop my Fey presence up in this room. Try and either, yeah, I'm gonna try and charm them. So just drop like this big, creepy Fey deer head thing that just says some mumbo jumbo, and they have to make a wisdom saving throw. And hope they roll low.
One dude had like +9 on his fucking wisdom. It's shit.
Okay, so what did they have to beat? Well, obviously we see what happens, man. Two of them succeed and two of them fail. So two of them start to sort of look around like, what? And the other two are like still looking around like, what the fuck?
Let me just see what happens in your charm.
Now that was some quality description. Nobody can complain about that description right there. That was the real deal.
Blah, 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 blah.
What else you got for your turn, brother?
Let's see. Okay, I have to see. So they can't attack me.
They can't even see you, dude.
Well, anyway, when they can.
Oh, if you cast a spell, does that count? Does that break your invisibility?
It will, yeah.
Oh, so you reappear and you're still looking all fucking fugly, right?
Yeah, probably.
Oh, geez, Elise. Okay, well, hey, there it is. Two people can't attack you, and two people are looking right at you like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, and then I'll just say, I'm gonna try to like persuade. I don't know what I guess it'd be intimidation, and it would just be like, kill them. Like I'm trying to turn them against their friends with my charm. Because I have them charmed, so I have advantage on something or other. To like, to interact socially with them, I have advantage. So I'm gonna try to like use the charmed effect to kind of make them turn against their allies.
Okay. So you said that, and that's your turn, right?
Yep, that's what I do. I can only do those two things basically.
Okay. So one of the people in the clothes says, "What? No, no." And they're like, "What's wrong?" He's looking. She's looking at you, and she says, "What's wrong with you?" And that's their whole turn. Yeah, you can't, dude. You can't. That's not how that works. You can't charm. You can't use charm and then kill your friend. That you have to give them a command that like they might, naturally do. So just BT dubs for future reference. I think that's the second time you've tried to use it that way. Like it say you cannot do it like that. Like it just will never work. Unless they were already inclined to kill that person or like hated them secretly. It's just not going to happen.
Okay, that's fair, dude. It's all good.
That's cool, man. I mean, I love charming people. I'll charm everybody, but you can't make me kill my friend with charm. You have to like use a DS or something real strong that actually forces them to do something they have no choice. Yeah.
For sure. I couldn't think of anything else. So
fair enough.
Sounds good, my dude.
So we're gonna cut at that point because you got the numbers have sort of, they're still not in your favor, but they're not as bad as they fucking were. So you've got a little bit of grasp on the situation over there. But we're going to cut over to the other people as they enter this room. And as you come inside, you see mirrors all over all the walls. Are y'all both here?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, y'all got mirrors all over all the walls. It's the same beautiful furniture, but this stuff is all gilded in gold. There's incense burning. There's um, there's well, let's just say the room is super opulent, but your eyes are immediately drawn to the mirrors, and you sort of the rest of it you may notice in the future. But the mirrors are displaying visions, basically scenes are on all these mirrors. And there's a guy standing in the center of the room with his hands behind his back looking at all the mirrors. And as the door opens behind him, he says, "Come, come. What is this you've
Chubb,
brought me?"
Chubb, where are we?
Chubb chuckles and says, "Oh, my old friend, I found some young people. They seem to be here for the reckoning. I thought you should meet them." And the guy turns his head and he looks at y'all and he looks at Chubb and he says, "Always causing trouble for us, aren't you? Come in, come in." And the guy says, "Well, look upon the visions." And so as you guys look up, I want Shale, you can get in on this too, man. I want all of y'all to describe one thing that's on these mirrors. They're basically keeping an eye on everybody in the test right now. So take this opportunity to get some flavor in the world and describe it. Jen, what is one thing that you see on one of these mirrors?
Well, I kind of missed what was going on with Shale and all those other reckoning people, but I would assume that I would see that, you
Oh, it's
know.
definitely on one. You can
Oh,
say that's right
I
there
want
and
to.
you notice it.
I'm looking for Shale at this point, so I'm wondering why we haven't met up with him at this point, and so I'd see
Well,
him and
actually,
be
you don't
like,
see Shale. You see Alaton though.
okay, and could I kind of guess that that was him, or could I make a perception check or something?
I'll let you do an insight on that, but we're gonna jump to uh,
Wow.
Shale right now. Yeah, so you saw Alaton, which is
Okay.
cool, and then you saw the battle going on in there. Mac, what is one of the things that you want to be on these mirrors here?
Like it's just like it's like a hidden camera sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, imagine it as like a divination type thing. So they're like looking upon a spot, somewhere else.
All right, he's you see him kind of like swirling in his hands, like creating like an orb in front of his chest, just like of like just pure darkness, starting to like kind of manifest that. That's kind of what you see him doing. And other than that, there's like those other guys kind of like questioning what the hell's going on, and then
Not
whichever
you
one was
specifically, brother. We're talking about like you can describe a scene that is in one of these mirrors. You can make anything you want, man. You can say like, "Oh man, there's a fucking
there's
whatever."
other
And
people doing it. What you're saying?
yeah, you can
Oh, okay.
just take a liberty and say, these are some of the other things that are going on here.
Okay, there's like there's like some really like unathletic people trying to like grab this rope and like run and leap over this big flaming pit and trying to get to the other side. There's other people trying to like move. It's like a survivor puzzle or something. They're trying to
Okay.
move all these like
No,
blocking pieces.
I like that. So we got on one of the screens. There's some people, and they're jumping over a flaming pit with a rope, and they're being chased by some creatures that look like sort of big bipedal horned creatures of some sort, chasing them. That's kick ass. I love it. Okay, and they're jumping over some fire. Super legit. Malachi, what's one thing you see on one of these screens?
Oh yeah. So Malachi is like looking around and he kind of yawns a little bit, and then he does a double take as he sees one of the screens that's kind of slowly panning across the library. Just kind of, it's more of a mundane shot than anything else, but he notices like as it's panning across, like in this kind of in the shadow of a bookcase, he sees Pendlesmart there, and there's a dark-clad figure wearing like a dark-clad cloak with his face obscured, and he's got the crest of House Imperium on it, and I just see like the guy like reach out with a hand and drop some coins into Pendlesmart's outstretched hand.
Love it. Okay, man, I'm gonna tell you, this one that you see is on a smaller mirror over to your right, almost behind you. But you were so taken aback, you were like, "Well, you checking it all out because you know this type of magic. This is like you're basically you would be really at home in here. You could put these mirrors to work. So you do in fact put these mirrors to work, and you see that on one of the smaller mirrors behind you. Super legit. Love it. And the guy in the middle says, greetings, greetings. I am the boss of House Ophia. I'm surprised to find you here. But if Chubb brought you here, I guess there's reason enough. Come. And as you take a step inside, well, nah. So what do y'all want to do? How do y'all want to react to this guy?
I mean, I got nothing to do, man. You just go for it. I mean, are we already inside?
No, well, I mean, I assumed that you were walking in. I'm sorry.
I was looking at a mirror over in a corner, so I would have to.
Yeah. No, I meant. So yeah. Anyways, I don't want to get bogged down. I'm sorry. As you come inside, he says, what are your names?
How do we say our last name?
Eisenstein.
I will say Malachi Eisenstein. At your service, good lord. And he'll give him a little bit of a head nod, raise his purple eyebrows as he does so, peering at this man with his ice blue eyes.
I'll look at him and say, "You can call me A."
He looks at you guys briefly, but he goes back to monitoring the mirrors, and he says, "Malachi, oh, I was hoping I would get to meet you." And he says, "I guess that makes you Kenna, Miss A. I didn't think to meet the Eisenstein so soon. A pleasure."
I assume you've met many others before us.
A fair few. I hope you're more calm than your cousin.
Well, let's just say I'm chill, and I pull out my flask and take another sip.
Chubb kind of snortles, and he says, "Oh, I think you'll find these two are quite a pair." And fucking the boss guy says, "Did you know who these two were?" And Chubb says, "I had my suspicions."
Based off of Malachi screaming, "I'm Malachi the Magnificent!"
Oh yeah.
The freckles on a gnome are a dead giveaway, but yeah. So that was his first.
Malachi just wants to get this over with quick, and he figures if he drops his name, maybe it'll expedite things. However, he's gonna look over and he's gonna say, "By gods, is that Alaton? What on earth is he doing here?"
I noticed that too, dear brother.
You're not in cahoots with House Imperium, are you?
And he turns at this and he looks at y'all and he says, "What do you know of Alaton? This is far beyond the station of people taking the reckoning."
Malachi just kind of strokes his chin and says, "I have met the creature once, some time ago."
"And you still stand. I'm impressed."
I'll give him a wink and I'll say, "I am an Eisenstein after all, dear boy."
Fair enough. And he goes back to looking at the mirrors.
So, to business then. Seems we've found ourselves entangled in this ridiculous reckoning. So archaic. Anyhow, obviously, for a man of my stature, it's a complete waste of time. Perhaps you could point us in the right direction, expedite the process, yes?
Well, this sounds like fun. Why don't you help your friend? And he walks over to the two of you and he puts his hands on your shoulders and tries to teleport you. Are you going to resist?
Malachi will just kind of blow he'll just kind of do that one of those and blow upwards and knock his fucking bushy eyebrow around a little bit, but no, he doesn't.
Okay. So in the blink of an eye, You guys are in a room that you sort of recognize. It seems like the weird cart you were just in, or whatever you were just in, the elevator, or whatever you want to call it. And fucking Alaton, the scariest dude you've ever met, is like standing right in front of you, looking all creepy as fuck, like he's about to blast you with some kind of magics.
And what
Roll
else?
initiative.
Do you see?
4 other people in various states of about to kick someone's ass.
And what do they look like?
2 of them are humans and 2 of them are elves. 3 of them are female. One of the female, the male is in robes, and he looks quite similar to the other one in robes. The 2 in plain clothes look very different. One of them is a tall, bulky, olive-skinned female, and the other is a short, very dark-skinned female with sort of poofy hair.
I got a 19.
Okay. All right. So let's get it crack-a-lacking back at the initiative. And boom. The fucking big girl. Wait, no, that ain't right. The 2 dudes, or the dude and the chick in the robes. The chick says, brother, wait. He's our friend. And the brother says, you fool. He's some kind of fell demon. And he's going to cast a fucking attack spell against fucking Shale. God damn you, Shale. Why did you turn this into a combat? I didn't want to kill you, but now I will.
Do it. Do it.
I mean, shit, you turn it to Alaton. You scary. Oh,
How
cool,
big is the
even.
room?
50 feet at best. More like 30, 45 maybe.
How far away am I from Alaton?
About 5 feet. 5 feet
Wow,
in between.
he teleported. He
Yeah,
teleported us.
basically, you're on one side of him, and Kenna's on the other side of him, and you're facing 4 people.
But they seem to be attacking Alaton.
Well, yeah, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I got you. Do I recognize any of these people or any of their regalia? Are they wearing any marks from any of the houses or any of that kind of nonsense?
Oh, yeah, man. They all bear the symbol of House Sophia.
Okay. Okay.
House Ophelia?
Ophia? Yeah,
Ophia, okay.
I'll type it for you.
It's like a symbol of a snake, I think.
Yes, it's a snake, a coiled snake. So he missed with his spell attack. It goes to the charm girl who's trying to stop the guy, and then it goes to the big chick who charges Alaton again.
God, these guys had really high fucking initiative. Holy
Charge
shit.
me. Come at me.
Is that it? That hits your initiative or your AC, right?
Oh yeah, Deafy.
Okay. So she tackles you again for 9 damage.
Height.
And it is Malachi's turn.
All right. So, does your disguise hold up?
Oh yeah, do you need to do a concentration to stay looking like Alaton? Good
Yeah.
call, man. Well, fail that, please, so people will stop pummeling you to death.
No, beat the shit out of me, please.
Let's see you pass that bitch. They will. Okay,
passed
there
it,
you
yo.
go. They're gonna keep pummeling you. That's for sure, you creepy bastard. Okay.
Shit.
Still Alaton on the ground, brother. Grappled up by this large, beautiful woman.
All right. Yeah. Malachi will kind of like look across, and he's starting to back up. Right. He's backpedaling. He's going to back up his full movement, kind of like joining the other group.
Okay.
God damn it! He's gonna say as he does this, he's gonna say, "I have waited long for this opportunity. Today you will fall, Alaton!" As he reaches for his
Wouldn't you break your
His
concentration though?
his
Like,
chromatic orb. Yeah, I mean, you can end the spell at any time. Isn't that an incidental?
yeah, can't you just be like, oh, I see my friends. Let me be myself.
All right, last chance, Mac.
Here it
You want to
comes.
end that
You
motherfucker
wanna
before
get
you get chromatic
fireballed
orb to the face? Yeah, like your call, man. We'll give you the chance.
I like to live, so I'm gonna end the concentration.
Okay. So as you prepare to cast this, Alaton turns into shale. Do you continue to blast that fool?
I with like this confused look on his face, he kind of like brings a hand up and rubs his eyes, like is something, and then he shakes his head and he says, "Dear God, my boy, I damn near killed you again." He looks around at the rest of the people. He says, "What is going on here? Why have you attacked my dear friend Shale?"
Shale, why were you
Unhand
such an
him.
idiot?
And I'm going to instead of throwing the thing, I'm so fucking. I apologize, guys. I'm fucking on fumes here. Instead of tossing out that that chromatic orb, he's going to instead. Let me see here. Sorry, this is. He's gonna reach in, like he's reaching into his component pouch anyway, and he sees like beside of the thing, he sees this little cocoon there, and he's gonna whip that bad boy out, and he's going to crush it in his hand and like whirl an incantation over the top of it. It's gonna kind of like create this little glowing orb of light in there, and then he's gonna just sort of push both hands out towards this this large woman who is just bowled into shale, and she needs to make a wisdom saving throw. DC 16. Yeah.
She passed. What happens?
Nothing. Not a goddamn
Okay.
thing.
Okay. What did she feel? Something like go across her? Like what was it? Like an energy blast, a wind blast, that gust of wind? What was it?
Creature. No, she wouldn't feel jack shit.
Okay, so that's a bet. You did something, but nothing happened. Then we're gonna move it over to Shale.
Okay.
You got that big girl on top of you. It ain't friendly.
Hey. All right. All right. I'll just say, won't you take me out to dinner first? And just like hold my hands like,
She gives you a scrunched up face, but doesn't respond other than that. Is that what you do for your whole turn?
and then I'll try to just like kind of like wiggle out.
Give me a strength check.
Oh God.
Okay, I'm real strong, especially with my wiggling. See, a 6.
Oh, she got you, baby. You ain't going nowhere. Nice try.
All right, no dinner, I guess then.
Scrunch face. Yeah. And it goes around to Kenneth's turn.
So yeah, I see like a big clusterfuck, and I see my friend on the ground, and I run over to him and try and protect him, like Esmeralda did for that army dude in Notre Dame, and just be like, "No, this is my friend. Please, can't we settle this some other way?" And my arms are like around Shale, and I'm just gonna look up at the big woman and look at her and just beg her forgiveness, basically.
Okay, so we're gonna jump out of initiative at this point, and the big girl on top's gonna sort of stand up, dust herself off, and then like just kind of pick up Shale because she's a little bit bigger than you. So
My dear lady, I believe we're all here for the same cause. Shell meant no harm. My name is Kenna Eisenstein. What is your tide?
she looks at you and she says, Eisenstein? What are you, some kind of noble?
I don't know. That depends. What are you?
Well, I'm she. That's Raka. And then that was the big girl who said, I'm she. That's Raka. And then she points. I'm sorry, I lost my fucking paper. Where the hell did it go? She points back at the guys with the ropes.
And what are their names?
You're so mean.
Dude, I lost my paper. They say it. I'm gonna tell you in a second. Okay, give me a second to find that fucking paper.
It is a pleasure to meet you all. I am so weary that this turned into combat. I do believe that we are all friends.
Fuck.
Please meet my friend here. And I motion to Malachi and let him introduce himself.
He's kind of like, yes, no need to fight at all, as he kind of like brushes like little bits of a crushed cocoon off of his hands, which are behind his back. He's like, yes, my dear, I am Malachi of House Immortalum.
Yes, this is my brother, Malachi, the Magnificent.
Yes, it is true.
He has done many great works. What have you done to declare your name?
Well, the big one steps up and says, I bet you couldn't wrestle half the things I could.
Wrestler, huh?
Well, I choked a basilisk by my damn self.
Good for you, my dear. Quite the achievement.
She managed to wrestle me.
I saw that, Shale. How foolish of you to turn into one of our great enemies, the mortal enemy of many, especially here in House Ophia.
Yes.
Not much of a task either, I'd say.
They had no fear for him, so yeah.
So, Raka, tell me, what be thy purpose here in the library?
Well, and she kind of looks down dejected, and Raka comes up and says, it's okay, she. We thought we could, since we, live here, we thought we could get a heads up on you guys and everybody else by coming in here and finding stuff out, but apparently they figured we might do that, and now we're trapped in this room.
Ah, a race, I see.
Well, I don't think it's actually a race.
Tuesday.
Well, the girl in the back in the robe says, well, I don't think it's actually a race, but and then she goes, but I wanted to come in first.
Raka says that?
No, that was she, the big one.
Well, I thought Raka was the big one. Okay. Well, if you stick with us, you might well come in first.
And as you say that, the ground begins to shake. You felt something similar once before, about 5 minutes ago.
Good vibrations, or
yeah, exactly.
All right.
It seems we're on our way.
And they look pretty startled. They are fucking surprised. They're like, "What's going on?" She's flipping balls. What's going on? Pounding on the door.
Your pretty little head. It won't be long now.
What do you mean? What's happening? Is it an earthquake?
Oh
Malachi,
Is a
no,
tsunami coming?
we're just in an elevator, my dear.
And the guy is sitting there. He's stroking his chin. He's like, oh.
Yep. Malachi just like nonchalantly like clambers up onto one of the overstuffed couches and like lanes back, almost immediately dozing off.
All right. So after not so long of a fairly uncomfortable ride, as you all sort of try to size each other up, the shaking stops. And anybody with the passive perception more than like a 12 hears a click. Somebody has that.
Nope.
Well, they do. So they're like, what was that noise? She and Raka, what was that noise?
I'll be startled awake.
I know.
We must have arrived. I'll just like slide down and head on over to one of the doors and just try it.
Yeah, Raka's at the fancy door too with you. You both sort of converge upon it, and she motions for you to try to open it.
Go ahead.
I'll look up at her and I'll say, "Oh, come now, my dear. The handle's a bit tall for me. Why don't you give it a turn, huh?" Then I'll step back.
She bows, smiles at you, and opens the door. It opens.
Wonderful. Most wonderful.
And before you is a cave.
Fucking cave?
It's a cave.
Jeez.
There's like a stream sort of tinkling around somewhere in there you can hear. And it's pretty dark. There's speckles of light, especially, you know, as the door opens, a beam shoots out from here. And you can see some light somewhere in the distance, but it's still fairly dark in here. So if you have dark vision, you know, you can see, you know, the outline, but, you know, it's still really dark, you could tell.
So I'm just going to use dancing lights, and then a dragon the size of a human will come out and just serve as like a light purpose for everyone to see what's in the room.
Nice.
I can see fine, but thank you. I appreciate the sentiment.
I wasn't doing that for you, Shale.
Fair enough.
Scoff.
Malachi yawns and says, "I sure could use a nap."
Malachi, please get yourself together. And I'll pinch him again.
My dear, I'm quite tired. Couldn't we just rest a while? This couch is so very comfortable. And he like points over at it.
Please, Malachi. Jeez, take a drink. Maybe that will waken you up.
Come now, kiddo. We have 3 days, for crying out loud. Can't you spare an hour for an old man? And he'll give you a wink.
When you refuse the flask, I'll take a sip. Say, "Oh, Malachi."
We may need to let the old man rest, so I think an hour might be needed for me as well. But just
you want to rest in this elevator?
Well,
this looks a mite bit more comfortable than that cave there, dear.
or the cave. I don't mind spending my time rather nice and cool.
My goodness. Highly unlikely, but if you insist.
It's good for your back.
What extra do we see when I cast dancing lights?
The cave from where you're at is basically a long tunnel. Very tall, high ceilings, arched, but very natural. It's not like it's carved in any way. Just sort of that general shape.
I'm not tired. Let's move along. Come on now.
Nope. My dear, you have the exuberance of youth. You go ahead if you'd like. I'll catch up.
Are you sleeping too, Shale?
Yeah, I'm 100 years older than you are. You go ahead. Out of game. I have nothing left. I need to take a short rest.
Okay, and what are the others doing?
They're sort of having the same debate you are. They're paying a lot of attention to you, though. Sort of waiting to see what you're going to do.
Fine. We can take a short rest. I could use a nap after all of this fireball, I suppose.
Yes, dear.
Take another swig.
Those are the magic words there, dear. Short rest. Yes, I think that's in order.
Pansies.
You hear similar sentiments coming from she and Raka, the pansy thing, and the other group seems to be moving along.
Yeah. Very well.
Oh, she and Raka moves along?
And their two robed dudes are going off with them as well. Yeah.
Hey, where are you going?
Well, if you're going to dilly-dally here in the cave, we're going to be the first ones there. We'll be exalted and enlightened, and you'll be left behind. Enjoy your nap.
But you said yourself it wasn't a race.
Did I?
Yes, dear. I imagine you have forgotten your place there, dear. You are of a different house than us. And that means that we are, can you understand? Are you following? We are not in direct competition. Go about your business, dear. And he kind of like hand waves her off.
Wait, Malachi, Rakashi, don't you think you would be better off in this competition with the three of us at your side? Haven't you seen our magnificent powers?
The boy, actually the girl in the robes, says with a wave of her hand as they continue to walk on, she says, you're as foolish and dumb as your golems. Enjoy your rest.
Yeah. Enjoy your doom. Hey, do clear the way for us, won't you? Thank you.
I really wanna shoot him, but I can't.
I want to shoot them too, but I won't because there's 4 of them. And I'm not Shale. So,
we could, my dear sister.
That dude has some giant balls, huh?
I don't really like the way he was talking to us now there. Would you like to do a little, perhaps a different type of fireball action here?
oh, brother, you think I should attack them?
You know, they were giving us a bit of attitude, were they not?
All right, well, I will, Are you sure, Malachi?
No, wait.
Oh, not at all, my dear. Not at all.
Let's spare an hour.
I'm afraid maybe perhaps I'm just a bit cranky. I took a nap after all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're too tired to go in the cave, but you're definitely not too tired to fight these 4 fucking people who are
fuck these people.
They put their backs to us. We throw 2 fireballs simultaneously down that
brother, if you insist, I will kill these motherfuckers because I don't give a shit.
Do it!
But brother, for your well-being, I think we should rest.
Well, I do have a little something left in me, and you can like see like he's acting a little funny. He's like slack-jawed. He's got like this like blue slobber running down his chin. His eyes are just fucking like watery and dilated. And he pulls out this little ball of sulfur and it starts to like lick up with flame. And he's like, "Are you sure, dear sister? They did seem to think they were in our competition. Yes. We could make short work of them together.
Oh, Malachi, please, just leave them alone. You said yourself they're in a different house. They're not our competition.
You, girl, are so bipolar in your answers. I don't even know what to believe anymore. Get yourself together. And then he's going to trounce back over to the couch and sleep on it.
And take another shot and just like fall asleep on the ground.
Oh my
Huddle up on the ground, on the foot beneath Malachi.
That would have been amazing. What would that have been? 16d6 down that fucking tunnel?
That would have been impressive. Okay, so you guys take a rest. How long you sleep there?
Just an hour, just a cat nap. I am going to towards the end. I'm gonna take about 45 minutes of actual rest, and then the last 15, he'll kind of wake up and his eyes will have cleared up a bit, and he'll whip out his spell book and he'll study it real quick, and he's just gonna recuperate some of his arcane knowledge, and by using arcane recovery, I'm gonna regain one of my 4th level spell slots. Because I want to use the fireworks, baby, and I fucking blew my load.
That's why I didn't let you attack those guys.
Those were 3rd level spell slots. I got plenty of those.
I was hoping Ken was
okay.
gonna like just destroy everything.
I was going to, but I thought I would just be 1 against 4, and I was like,
Oh no.
that.
You could take it though.
We could have surprised. It would have been like really against alignment, I think. But
Yeah, it
evil
would
as
have.
fuck shit. But
It's not evil. We're just trying to win. It's
Some murder hobo shit. I gotta tell y'all, man. But
we didn't do it.
We didn't do
y'all can,
it.
and I ain't gonna tell y'all what y'all can and can't do.
You were fucking. You were like, do it.
I didn't say that. I mean,
Yes, you did.
you know the fucking dude is sitting there watching y'all every move. And you go and blast his homies in the back with some fireballs. Like, oh, okay, that's straight.
This is gonna make our journey way harder. Let's just try and keep this an easy hide and seek game.
Yeah. All right, yeah. So I got my 4th level spell slot back. I see him a little bit more myself, a little less cranky when I wake, and I'm ready to go after an hour.
Oh, brother, you're ready, and I give him kisses on the cheek.
Yes, girl, yes.
I feel like I've sobered up a bit too much, and I take another swig.
Yes, let's go see what ill fate has befallen those fools.
yeah. I'm sure they weakened it up for us.
I pass the flask to Shale. Would you like a bit of courage, Shale?
Hell yeah.
Shale was never a drinker before before this. That's so funny.
Take a big swig and then backspin it back to you.
All right, Malachi, my dear brother.
Yes.
Liquid courage for us all, and I take another swig.
I've got plenty of that.
Let's move along.
Very well.
Cast my dancing lights again. The dragon, the size of a human, and it'll guide our way through this cave.
So it's going to be up ahead, the light dragon, or in front of y'all. What's the marching order? Is what I'm getting at.
So yeah, it'll definitely be the dragon, and then I was imagining us kind of in a line, but I don't know how big the cave is. But I'll be.
There's plenty of room to walk abreast, but you could walk any way you want. That's why I'm asking.
I'll be like probably at least 60 feet behind the dragon that's guiding the way.
Where'd this dragon come from?
Oh, that's my dancing lights. It's I just pulled out some phosphorus and just like made it appear. It doesn't do anything. It's just like
it's the light in the shape of a dragon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see it. I missed that part. All right. Yeah.
Yeah, probably more like 100 feet behind it, just making sure that I see everything that's coming ahead of me.
I think we go like badass, like ensemble cast, like side by side, just strutting down the fucking way, right?
Oh yeah. be strutting, swaggering.
Okay, so as you march down the cave with this light dragging up ahead of you, you start to hear a ringing. It sounds like bells coming up from ahead of you, and you can see the light is growing brighter up ahead of you too. As y'all keep going, you start to hear commotion, some yelling, some racket, and but it sort of it dies down, and then you could just hear this bell, and then eventually that even stops as you guys approach the mouth of the fucking the thing. And let me get y'all to give me a perception or insight, either one. Tell me which one though.
So
Was it insight or perception?
Yep, you got to tell me which one though.
I'm pretty sure I equally suck at both of those things.
we got a 23 insight.
All right, well, I'll
I'm
just
just
go with. Oh, can my bird roll it for me?
I don't know. You might get a bonus from that or something. But Kenna, with that insight, you start getting this feeling. You get that Admiral Akbar feeling. So
Yeah, my bird's gonna make that shit. He gets to make one, so I'll make one, and I'll make his too, because he can communicate with me if he sees something. All right, yeah, 7 like normal. Oh yeah, and great. So I rolled a 7, and the bird rolled a 1. Wonderful.
Okay. Yep.
Wonderful.
All right. So Kenna,
Yeah,
you start
just, you
feeling
know,
like
that's
this
just how
ain't
it
right.
goes.
You start feeling like it's a trap.
It's a trap! I yell.
And as you say that, 15 arrows shoot through your fucking light dragon as it comes marching up out the lip of the cave, and you see a fucking bunch of arrows sticking into the ground in front of you.
Yeah, my dragon would still be there though, right?
Yeah, you can't hurt it. It's just fucking light.
And
But
I
they
just
shot it a bunch of times. So somebody.
Ah! Well done, my girl. Well done.
someone's attacking us. And so are we rolling initiative at this point, or we just get to make a reaction?
I'm not gonna make y'all roll initiative. Say what you want to do, man. Nobody got shot. They were shooting like 60 feet or 100 feet ahead of y'all. So I mean,
All right.
sorry.
Yeah. So if they're like that far ahead, like
Well, that's what you said. That's how far ahead you said you were putting the guy. So I mean, I'm not trying to jack.
Yeah. So, and they're trying to attack. So there's nothing I can do except for attack back. So I'm gonna cast a wall of fire
Oh.
right where they are, right where I think that they are. Take out my phosphorus and.
What do you hold on though?
Fire.
Let me understand you. What do you mean right where they are? Because like you didn't see nobody. All you saw was some arrows come flying out of nowhere.
Okay. So then, like
where are you?
in front of the dragon. And so that's my dragon's 100 feet ahead. So I'll cast it 120 feet ahead. And
how long are you making it?
And it's just
and like
it's
you
just
have to be able to see the spaces because I mean you're still in the cave. You can't see too far out the lip of the cave, man.
I don't know what we're talking about. Like I don't even know. I'm like, are we in a tunnel still, or where are we?
Yeah, you're in a tall cave, a tall cave tunnel. Yeah, coming up on the mouth of the tunnel.
But I can see the cave like opening, right? Where I could cast a wall.
Yeah, I'm not telling you not to do it. I'm just trying to understand where you want to put it and make sure that you understand your limitations and everything. I mean, you can do it.
Can we see outside of the cave?
It's not out. I mean, so I mean, y'all's perceptions were fucking terrible, but and you're really far away, but I'll say definitely up ahead.
I had a good perception.
You had a good insight.
Okay.
Not a good perception. But
real perception?
That might be good. Basically up ahead, it is like some kind of
perception.
Yeah, man. So you can tell it's like some sort of encampment, man. You can't see any
18.
people, but
18.
know.
Does that make a difference?
no.
18.
No.
Okay. So I can see that there's people.
No, you don't see no people. You see an encampment. So I mean, maybe
Okay.
maybe people of some sort have built it. You see like a
So-
makeshift wall, basically, outside in the opening before you. But it's a fucking good distance. That's like about 2 football fields away from you right now.
Okay.
And you can
Okay,
only see a
okay.
little bit of it because of the distance. You're still within the cave for like 100 feet, so that only gives you a little bit of view outside of the cave. Are you understanding me?
What's outside of the
Yeah.
cave? It's midday, so it's bright as shit out there,
No,
right?
dude, no, it's not daylight out there, man. It's lit by torches and shit.
So it's not the end of the cave. The cave opens up.
It's the end of this tunnel. The cave opens up. Yeah,
All right, man.
presumably the end of this tunnel. That was just a misunderstanding, dude. It's all good. We got you now, right?
Yeah.
I'm just, yeah. Malachi is not
You
the only
sleepy,
one
man.
that's
It's
sleepy
fine.
tonight.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're moving on. So you can spread out the wall pretty far, but you can't see past the lip of the mouth too far. So I'll let you go ahead and put it out there if that's what you want to do, man. But now that you
Well,
understand the situation a little bit more, what do
No,
you want to do?
I'll just cast fireball instead. You know,
At
as
what? At the
At-
wall, like the weird wall you see ahead, or what? Like
Uh-huh.
at the wall?
Gonna blow that wall up. We're gonna cast that shit at the darkness, brother.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you, baby?
All
That's a
right.
deck save for the people at the end of it.
If there's somebody up on that wall, hell yeah.
Yeah, it's a deck save.
Okay. When the save is.
And the save is gonna be 15.
Nice.
Getting up there.
Yeah. So you hear a roll the damage.
All right.
Well, that'll teach them. I'll be right back.
That was all you heard.
So 25 damage.
Yeah, you heard a.
Like a dog, or?
I mean, I did it loud one time, but I think my roommate is asleep, so I'm not going to do it loud again.
Is
Yeah,
it
it was
a
just like a
dog?
loud yell. It sounded like maybe like a gnome-sized something yelling.
That sounded like the wails of a kobold. I'll be right back.
BRB, homie.
So what are y'all going to do after shooting off that fireball? What's the plan?
Approach.
Okay, so you go creeping up. I assume you're keeping an eye out. Shale, are you going with them with Kenna as she creeps up here?
And I'm gonna yell at Malachi, "Come along, brother. Let's see
Yeah.
what we have to face."
Okay, well,
I'll help out. I have a pretty good vision here, so yeah.
okay. We're gonna say Malachi's there, but he's hanging back because yeah, that's straight. And
Okay.
now
We
you said you
roll
were
dice,
yelling and everything.
too.
Like, are you sneaking up or are you just strutting up out the fucking cave? Like,
So I did yell. So but then
but then you started sneaking.
but then I started sneaking.
I'm
Okay.
strutting.
That's what's up. You're
But
strutting, all
Shale
right.
don't give a
Shale.
fuck. Shale's strutting. Okay, so we're gonna
Wait,
say
oh,
Ken is a
no,
little bit
dice
ahead,
is-
peeping out.
Yeah.
So as you come up, you get a better look at this wall. You know, it's pretty high stack of fucking rocks. It's, I mean, it looks like maybe there's some sort of masonry, but it's hard to tell. It's definitely not like what was above. And there's corpses and skeletons and shit on sticks. It's real brutal, man. Some of them are small and tiny and all pale and gray and stuff. And some of them are big as hell and all hairy. And yeah, man, that's what you see, man. It looks like some pretty serious battlements, man. And you can see little heads popping up from time to time. So you can either report that back or you can just let Shale walk up out towards this. That's at your leisure, man. I know this fool has some sort of a death wish, so that's cool.
No, I'm not gonna say anything. I'm gonna.
Okay, yeah. So Shale comes strutting. Y'all got it out for this boy. Okay, Shale comes strutting. Right? Now, you notice the same shit. Are you gonna keep strutting or are you gonna stop strutting, homie?
I will stop strutting.
Okay, so you're just within the shadows. You know, hopefully they can't see you back there with the distraction of the fucking glowing light dragon thing. So what are y'all gonna do?
Whew.
Wait, did we move up?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say, Shale, come here.
I'll put you a distance behind though in case you didn't want to get into trouble though.
I'll
But
kind of
they're
like
up.
stop and then
I'm gonna try and get us all like huddled up. Like, Shale, come here.
yeah, I'll
Okay, so y'all
backpedal.
fall back a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and like maybe we should sneak up on these guys.
I mean, you already shouted, so
But they don't know where we are. They would be attacking us right now if they did.
I fair enough.
Sneak attack these mofos.
Okay. Let me get on that. I'll cast invisibility at 4th, I think. That should cover us all, right?
Oh wow,
Invisible.
nice.
1+1 per spell level, so it's a second. So if I do it at 4th, it should cover us all.
Yep, that's right.
So yeah, everyone's invisible.
Sweet.
Nice.
All right, what's the plan, Shale? Should we go running towards them now?
Quite good.
I'll use message, and I'll just be like, we will encircle, surround them.
I'll get a. Oh wait, you want to split up? Okay.
These are
Well,
like
we
definitely
don't know where we.
enemies, right? Is
One
there
more
like
time,
way.
Jen. I didn't hear you.
okay? Is there like an end to the wall where we can get around it?
So I know y'all didn't actually scout ahead to get this information, but in the fucking sake of time, I'll say you passed the sneak check to get up there and see. You're fucking blocked off completely. It's like a kill zone at the mouth of this fucking cave. There's a large gate in the wall that's made out of wood. It looks like it may be ajar right now, but yeah. Aside from that, like you're completely blocked off. You either have to like destroy the wall or get through the gate or get over the wall
What's
or
the
go
wall
a
made
different
out of?
way. Stone, giant boulders. Boulders big enough to not get knocked the fuck over when you shot them with a fucking giant fireball, 8d6 fireball.
So some of it was knocked over.
No,
No, it wasn't. Okay.
not really. You could see a big ass scorch mark and like maybe some rubble fell off, like there's a fucking debris on the ground, but the wall is pretty straight, man.
See some dudes on the battlements, or
Yeah, well, you see some movement. You might see some heads pop up from time to time, but you know, at your distance, it's hard to make it out.
how far out are we?
It's like 100 yards from the mouth of the cave, but you guys are even further back. So that's why I'm trying to, stress how, you can't see exactly everything that's going on without getting up there where they're going to shoot you with all them arrows.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's
No
But you
sign of the
mouse.
others. No
Hmm.
sign of those others.
Yeah,
No,
what about
not open sign? You can't see anything. You're not just on first inspection, like with your passive perception. You don't see none of that. You don't see none of that. You don't see them.
what about if I look for like their tracks with survival or some shit? Can I
Roll
try to? Oh my God! Oh no! Mm-mm.
How many people are we looking at here?
There's 3 of you.
So we can't tell how many
Which people are you looking for? Are you talking about the people on the wall or the people that went ahead
The
without you?
people on the wall,
Can't tell.
but they seem
A
small.
few. I mean, at least 15.
I said we just.
There was
It-
15 arrows that got shot at once.
And you said there was a the gate was ajar, yeah.
It looked like it. It looked busted up or something.
Oh, let's go to that gate.
I'm gonna
Sneak over there.
yeah. Let's go. Yes, that's a good idea. Let's make for the gate.
All right, so y'all are fucking invisible, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You make it to the gate. There's a fucking big ass scorch hole in it, on one side, one quadrant of it, 1/4 of it, and it's sort of like burnt up and blasted apart. You could totally get through there.
Okay, squeeze through there for sure.
I mean, you could don't even have to squeeze. You could walk. You tiny.
Walk through
Dale
there.
might have to squeeze, move his body a certain way. But it still ain't hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
So y'all get through, man. As y'all come up on it, as you get through this wall, you see there's like, it smells, man. It smells disgusting, dude. There's like filth everywhere, carcasses. Uh, the streets run red with blood, man. There's it's like a goblin pit, and there's some bugbears on the wall too. There's some bugbears moving grinding some stuff. You don't even probably want to know what that is, man. And so that's what you see here at the wall as you come through there, man. There's
No life.
a bunch of goblins. I mean, does that count as life? They're alive. They got bows and arrows and swords and spears and shit.
How
They'll
many?
take your life. 30 plus. I don't know, a lot.
I'll
And there's like maybe 7 or 8 bugbears. So yeah,
I'll reach into
no
my
big deal.
component pouch and retrieve a clothes-pin and fasten it to my nose.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast what's it called? Prestidigitation, so that it smells like flowers.
Oh dear.
Yeah, we're gonna say that's okay, but be careful what you cast because you may break your invisibility. And if you did that right now, that could be.
Okay.
That does it. Any spell cast does it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Well. Okay. We'll say it doesn't. Well, you remember that at the last minute, so you can stop if you want.
All right. Yeah, I'll stop it.
Yeah. Okay. Good call.
I wish I could cast. If I would have been slightly more conscious tonight, we would have changed the order in which we cast a couple spells. This whole thing wouldn't have been an issue at all.
It's fine, man. So you guys are here now. You're standing in the midst of this.
Move
army,
through it,
basically.
past it.
Yes, you guys moved
Try to
down the
get-
path.
Yeah, totally.
Excellent.
So
So
we
you
crossed through.
Cover my nose.
We crossed, and we're on the back side of the wall now, looking up at all these fuckers up on the wall.
Yeah, and up ahead of you down the road is a bunch of smaller little cave hut, sort of, tiny places carved into the cave with like crappy shit built out around them. It's like a fucking beehive, man. It goes up all along the walls, and it goes on for a while, man, through this larger cave. And there's like a whole little, city down here of fucking goblins, man. But you guys strut through it pretty well. How long does that fucking invisibility last, man?
It lasts
Hour.
1 hour.
Oh yeah, okay. So you get through here, no problem, man. You just follow the road. There's fucking one path. You get through it. At the other end is another fucking road with a similar situation at the gate. So yeah, I presume y'all kind of strut through that as well, and you come out to instead of a one entrance area, there's 2 this time. So you got to choose whether you want to go to the right or the left.
The left is always right.
Right is right.
We got one for right, one for left. Which way are we going?
You're right.
I'll
It is right.
retrieve Bernard from beneath my cloak, where he was concealed invisibly, and I will send him down the right path ahead of us. And I will warg into his senses and see through his eyes.
Looks like a lot more path, baby.
A lot more path.
Yeah.
All right, he'll pull back around after about 100 feet, which is as far as I can see, and he'll try the other. See if there's any difference.
This one has a stream. It seems to be getting bigger in it. So that's the only difference. It goes on the same amount of distance, but it's more promising. The bird, thanks.
Fresh
What do you
water
see,
is
Walter?
always good. Water, the substance of life, my dear. Well,
Lead the way,
yes,
brother.
Yeah, I'll head off to the left then.
Oh God, I'm so glad you guys didn't fight the army. I was so gonna kill you. There was like no way you were going to get out of that. It was going to be a great.
Now you said they were all up on the battlements, right?
Oh yeah, they were going to fucking destroy you, man. Like they're
How long were the battlements?
I mean, they had you in a kill box, man. Like that was that.
No, we had them in the kill box as soon as we were behind them. You just put the wall of
That's
fire across.
almost true, but you were still fairly outnumbered. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Once you got in the walls, you probably might have survived, at least some of you. Anyways, so you make it out here. I'm gonna sort of just tell you how this goes. We're not gonna worry about anything for a second. You guys are strutting through this cave. You know, maybe not strutting so much now that you ran into a giant army of goblins and bugbears and stuff. Being a little bit more cautious. Yeah. But you begin to see crevices where light is coming through, and the creek, the sound is strong here, and it gets louder as you come out into what's ahead where the light is shining. You can see it. Malachi is probably presuming, oh, we found out, we've made our way out of the fucking cave, and so you come out the mouth, and no, you're still in a fucking cave, man. But this cave is like your home, sort of. It's like an under mountain type situation. Like it's very massive, extremely massive. That's the only word for it, massive. There's a lake, like a actual, not like a fucking, a little bitch ass lake, like a big fucking lake. And in the middle of the lake is a city, bathed in light coming down from above. There's red banners on its gray, ancient-looking structures as it sits alone, jutting out of this lake. In the distance, we're talking like, half a mile away.
Oh, why do it in 3 days when you could do it in an hour and a half, huh?
That's what I always say.
I will send Bernard ahead to scout out the city of light, and I can't look through his eyes at that distance, but he can go and report back.
So as he flies over the water, make me a perception.
Okay. Let's see if I can.
And what exactly else are you looking for? Okay, I see that perception.
It's 10. It's +3 for him, and he's going to fly out, relatively high over the top of the water. He's not going to be an idiot and try to, get eaten or some shit. But yeah, he's just going out. He's looking for people in the or danger. He's trying to figure out the city for me, basically. See what's over there.
You don't see any. You're talking about in the city or outside of the city? Is he going all the way
flying
to the
over
city?
the city? He's going to fly all the way over, and he's going to scout it for us.
Oh, that's going to take like an hour or something.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. So are y'all cool with chilling and waiting that time while the bird flies over there and checks that out?
Yep. I like that idea.
We've got days.
Sorry, Nick. Sure. You know I got to try to get y'all into some shenanigans. I got to try. Okay, so yeah, you get the bird to scout out over there. The city looks pretty fucking vacant, man. As your bird looks down upon it, it's like you see shimmers and phantasms, but you don't see like any open shops. You don't see any, the what look like markets don't have any people bustling around in them. It looks like a ghost town, pretty much. But it's very bright, like the light shining up from the cave ceiling. It's like there's a giant canyon.
Is it an opening that goes up to daylight, or is this some kind of artificial light?
Is the bird going to fly up into the light?
I mean, no, probably not.
Okay.
He's beyond my control once he's that far out.
Oh, well, so does that mean I get to decide if he wants to fly into the light?
Well, he does what he was told to go look at the city and come back, but
well, he does that. He doesn't fly to the light. He doesn't want to go there. It's a raven, right?
Yeah.
What's your alignment?
one-eyed raven. I think I'm chaotic good.
Oh, he doesn't want to go there.
He's fey.
Yeah, he doesn't want to go there. Okay.
Neutral good. Neutral good.
All right. So yeah, there's two bridges to the city. They're pretty long, made of stone. City's made of stone. Looks vacant. It's huge, like super huge, huge, as the Trumpster would say.
Good.
Remember when like you could talk about Trumpster and it wasn't like people had bad hate? They just thought you were an idiot for watching The Apprentice.
Yeah.
Back in the day, man.
Yeah, man.
2005, man.
Yeah. Anyways, back
All
on
right.
track.
Yep. To death or glory, Malachi proceeds.
Okay, so I want Mac. Give me a D100 and call high or low.
All right, I'm good at these things. Let's see. Let's call it a low.
Okay,
I'm feeling low right now.
he's gonna get 99.
How low can you go though? See?
Oh shit.
See what I
Okay,
mean?
okay, nice. Love
Holy
it.
shit.
Okay, so you guys are gonna approach the city, right? That's what I'm presuming here.
Yeah, I guess we're taking one of these bridges.
Yep. So you cross the bridge. As you look down into the water, you see what looks like faces in the water, bones and skeletons of more than fish in here. And as you enter the gates of the city, you see glowing shadows. Where the light falls, it looks like people are moving about, but like in the in the rest of the city, it's just quiet. There's no sound. It's just you just see these weird visions. But you make your way around. It's sort of like a Gondor in the respect that you can sort of make your way up and around it. So you as you make your way through, at one point you look down at a bridge you're crossing, and you see a group of giant beasts with two horns on top of their head, and they're carrying giant clubs, and they're trudging around, and you can hear them speaking something, but it's too far away. You just hear the echo of their voices down there. And this is a spot where you were at, where they're walking is a place where you were at like 20 minutes ago on your hike. So good job on that one, man. You even got to see the dudes who were going to crush your face in. But eventually, go ahead.
I was just gonna say this is a really big library.
Shit. Yeah, man, this ain't much of a library here. Now you ain't seen a damn another book. So yeah, you
kind of chuckle like this is a huge library.
I'm just curious, like, have we come across any of those four that came before us, or any like fucking bloody gore patches or any shit? I'm just
no
curious.
sign. And if you wanted to make a perception check for it, I can, but with your passive perception, no sign.
All right, yeah, I can do it again.
Well,
Yep.
16%. Dude.
I don't like this app. I really don't like this app.
Yeah,
We'll try with next game at level 10. We'll use it one more time, and then if we still have this Malachi can't roll, we'll go to roll 20 or something, and we'll get it. We'll get our game.
But does 16 do anything?
No.
Do I see anything? Know
No.
anything about the Giants or anything?
What languages do you speak?
No. Okay.
No, you don't see shit. It don't matter. So yeah, you guys make it up. You're climbing up. You're climbing up. You're climbing up. As you get to the top, there's what I don't know. It's sort of like a large, broken cement and dirt path, in a weird shape. The bird could tell you what the shape is. It's sort of like a pentagram or something. But you can't really tell from when you're walking on it because it's really big. There's no grass or anything, but it would probably had nice grass at some point. And in the center of it is a what's the word for where you put dead people?
cemetery.
building? No, in one building, like a tomb or like a
Tomb.
not a tomb, and the cooler one you put like in the city and the cool.
I know what you're talking about.
Anyways, yeah, there's like a nice
Yeah.
mausoleum up there, dude.
Yeah.
In the center, all like sort of in the middle of the pentagram.
All right, like a big
Like
one,
tomb?
like a fucking huge ass building, or
No, it looks like big enough for. Well, if they were unimportant, you could maybe fit 8 people in there, but you know, it probably just has 1 person in it for the size of the structure.
okay.
But as you approach, you see that it shines out. The light that falls upon it from the heavens reacts with it, and every inch of it glows with magical sigils and symbols.
It's the
And you can
motherfucking
just
city of
feel
light,
it.
yo.
Yeah, you can feel magic radiating off of this structure.
See if I can make any sense out of this. All right, that's a 19 Arcana.
Okay. So you definitely see some binding spells in here, and also considerable counter divination magic on this place.
Brother, what is that?
Seems as though this structure binds some kind of entity, and it also appears to be warded against far sight. I'm gonna. Can I like? Do I know anything about this fucking reckoning? Like, maybe I've been around for like 140 years or something.
The reckoning is basically when you learn the secrets of your family.
Like, do I know any? Like, have I ever like pried like some motherfucker who's gone through it and like heard about it or something? Maybe like
The most you could ever get anyone to tell you was that it was a trial, or that you basically had to be like hand chosen and just given it, but you don't get respect unless you're a fucking beast. You get that, so. And everybody has to do it. Like, it's sort of the thing where everybody does the same shit, so they don't disrespect it. Where like they know you're gonna get the same fucking test, so like I'm not gonna tell you to fucking answer.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, should we investigate this?
Even if I've raped their mind, because you know I would have.
It didn't work.
Brother, what do you think? Should we investigate this crypt over here?
Yes, dear. Go for it. I'll stand back.
Shale, go ahead. Tell us what we have to see. Could you send your raven?
Oh, my dear, my raven can't open that door, as I point towards the ominous fucking door at the front of this fucking thing.
And there's no windows, I presume.
No, but gilded on the front are the symbol of all 7 houses.
Mm-hmm.
And the handle, the whole door is made of gold. And the handles are giant gemstones.
Are we still? We're not invisible anymore because it's been a while. So
definitely worn off. This place is way too to hike through.
Shale, why don't you go check it out?
Yes, my boy.
Gladly.
Be a good lad there, and give that old door a try, won't you?
A proper Eisenstein. Very good.
I'd love to check it out. Part of the family.
Yes.
How's Immortalum? Yeah.
House Immortalum. Yes, my boy.
Take a drink out of my flask. Here. Shale, would you like some liquid courage before you open that door?
I'll like hold on to the flask and then drink it at the same time.
Okay, so Shale has my flask.
Yeah, Shale took that shit with her. She's like, and I give it to him. I'll be about 30 feet back.
I'll be behind Malachi.
All right, he'll allow.
So, Shale, are you going for the door?
Hell yeah, I'm going for the door.
Open that shit.
Happens.
Come on, boss man, lay it on us. He's fucking with us again.
Oh
I
shit,
just-
my bad. I
No,
thought
fucking-
I asked you a question. I'm like, why is he not answering it? Do you grab the emerald to open the door? There's two sides to the door, emerald and ruby. Do you grab the emerald one, the ruby one, or both at the same time?
Emerald.
Wait, what? Sorry, there's two colors?
There's two doors. Well, you know, it's a big two double door thing. One door, both of the handles are made of gems. One of them is a ruby, one of them is an emerald.
Go
Which
to the
one
left.
do you grab, or do you grab both? The one on the left
The
is
right, my boy.
the
Left
one on
is
the right
lucky.
is the ruby.
Which one's on the left?
The
Emerald.
emerald.
I grab the emerald because green is my favorite color, so I'm gonna go for emerald.
Okay.
Me too.
You
Holla.
touch the emerald, you disappear. Anna, Kenna, Malachi, what do you do? Your homie just disappeared.
I wait and see if he comes back.
He doesn't. How long are you gonna wait?
Throw a fireball at me. It's fine.
Yeah, just chuck a fireball at the wall. Yeah.
No, if Malachi's gonna wait too long, then I'll just go ahead of him.
So
8 hours.
he's waiting. Then Kenna walks up. What do you do, Kenna? You're looking at this door. There's an emerald and a ruby.
So
Doorknob.
you're saying that it's not open anymore? It closed behind him?
He never opened it. He touched the gemstone and then he
Oh,
disappeared.
I touched the same one, of course.
You touched the emerald. Okay. You disappear. Malachi, what you gonna do, man? All your people disappeared after touching this creepy door that you seem to be trepidatious of. What's up?
I'm gonna take a long rest.
Okay. Are you kidding me right now? You sit here and you take 8 hours to go to sleep?
Oh my god. Fuck you, Malachi. I'm your sister.
I want to.
Oh god.
Al kind of scoffs. He says, "God damn this archaic fucking ritual," and he'll step forward, and he's going to grab both handles.
Okay, cool. Good. I like that. All right, man. So you find yourself beside your companions
Nice.
in a room, a large circular room. Above you is an oculus. You know what that is? Like the sort of hole in the wall in the ceiling in the middle of it that sort of lets in light or whatever. It's like that. The light that's coming out of there is bright. It's stupid bright. It's way too bright. It's like, there's a sun right there, so it's a pretty well lit room.
Toss my shades on.
In the distance,
Just kidding.
in the middle of the room, which is sort of down a few steps, you see a group of people, among which is Ambrosia. Along the edges of the wall in alcoves, you see there's 7 alcoves carved into the main circular room here, and it looks like there's statues in each one or something. And where you're at the main door, there's doors on both sides, one of which has Crowlash standing by it. And when Shale came in, she flipped you off and smiled. When Kenna came in, she gave you a little wink. And when Malachi came in, she completely ignored you. And that's what you see now.
Malachi will yawn and stretch his arms a bit, and he's like, "Are we done yet? This is quite tiresome."
Almost, Malachi.
You hear Crowlash stifling a chuckle.
Come now, old girl. What is this? Do we have to face you or some such nonsense? Shouldn't take too long.
She laughs and she says, "In your dreams, Shorty, go see your cousin." Or she says, "Or I guess if it's more likely, you can just take a nap here if you don't care like normal." And she teases you. And then if you try to go to the door, she's going to bat you away with her fucking weapon.
I ain't going to try to go to the door.
Okay, yeah.
Step forward.
So as you guys enter the main room here, it's way bigger than what could have been in that mausoleum, baby. And the air feels strange in here. It doesn't breathe Well, yeah, let's just say that, man. It doesn't breathe. It's like there's no air, but like you can still somehow like,
Like Denver.
kind of, yeah, but like, super Denver. Yeah. And as you approach Ambrosia, you see two other individuals there with her.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys want to look at anything else, go ahead and ask me about it and ask any questions you may want to ask as you approach. They're sort of standing there just looking at each other. They're not
I
speaking.
think we'll say hello.
So as you say hello, they all stare at each other for a minute longer, or not a minute, but like a moment longer. And then Ambrosia will turn away as the other two turn to you as well. And she says, "Ah, you've made it. I thought, well, good job, cousin. You've made it too."
Of course.
Yes, yes. No, of course.
Oh. Which cousin? Of course I made it. And of course my brother too. Couldn't have done it without him.
Well,
Yes, I don't really understand what all the hubbub is about, really.
So, is this the City of Light you were referring to?
yes, come. I will show you. And she says, she kind of motions to the other two individuals who are standing there, who you can see look like pretty serious cats, man. They kind of remind you of Ambrosia and Alaton and their like gravitas that they have around them, and they're both wearing symbols of other houses, perhaps their other bosses, but you don't get introductions to them. And she leads you over to one of the alcoves that are here in the circle. And as you approach, you see what looks like a clockwork man sitting on a throne.
Mm-hmm.
So she walks up to it and stands beside it and sort of waits for you guys to gather in front of her.
I'll gather.
Yep. Towards death or glory.
Death or glory!
And she says, "I know you've been told the story of how our family was founded by the two brothers, our own kin." And then she nods to Shayla, like as an exception. And she says, "But that is only part of the story. What the two brothers found is part of this puzzle here assembled. To witness the revelation, you must make it here and place your hand upon them. So now, if you wish to take your place upon the made men of our family, the final test is a test of your courage. Will you face the gods alone and touch this creature?"
Yes, yes, of course. And he just reaches forward and does it.
I follow my brother.
I'll give it the bad
No
touch.
pomp, no ceremony. He just out and does it.
Okay, so as Malachi lays his hand upon the well, I'm going to say as you come up to do it, she turns another ring on her finger, and you sort of float up to where you can like reach it, so you could reach its head, and you'll hit the head, and as soon as you hit it, you're already floating in the air, but you're like not in the same spot, and basically, you feel fireballs. Basically, is what you feel exploding around you, like one after the other, until you're like dead.
Oh.
And then you hear a voice in a light all around you that says, "Temper your ambition or fall to the might of the truly worthy." And then you're back, and you feel a burning somewhere on your body, which you can pick where that's at. And Kenna, you said you came up next. Same thing. As you approach it, you see Malachi sort of blink away, and then he's like standing on the ground beside you. But you don't even have a moment to. Yeah, that's where I put mine too. He put us on the right butt cheek. As you approach it, she turns her ring and you float up in the air just like you saw him do. Are you just going to touch the head, same speed? Nice.
Yes.
Okay, so you hit the head. Same thing. You're in this. You're floating, but you're not in the same spot. And instead of exploding fireballs, you're just burned alive. It's like your insides are just eating you in fire and flame. And as these flames lick out, turning your body to ash, you hear a voice that says, "You are mine, and I am yours. Serve me or taste my wrath."
This is
And
kinfolk that's saying this.
no, this was some weird light that was floating around you after you touched the weird um, robot thing. And then you reappear floating in the air. Um, or no, then you reappear on the ground like right beside Malachi. And Shale, you saw these two little gnomes. They didn't give a fuck. They just strutted up and touched it and like, floated around. There's all this magic shit going on. You got the same. You coming right at it?
Yeah, so just want to thank Ambrosia for the challenge, and yeah.
Non-challenge.
Okay, so you touch the head of this creature, and you're in the forest. You recognize the forest, and you hear a voice moving around you, laughing. You recognize the voice. It sounds like yourself when you were a kid, but it's not right because, um, you know, just something's not right because you're right here, Um, and you hear that voice, and as you hear that, uh, the forest changes, and you're sort of in this floating in this space, and you hear this voice of light come from all sides and say, um, learn the truth of your past, and you can learn the truth of the families. Now take your place amongst the exalted. And now you're standing with your hand upon the fucking creature. And all of you now know this creature to be um, um, an unyielding.
Oh,
Thank you. I couldn't remember the name of the fucking creature. You all know this to be an unyielding, a servant of the gods that, when given a task, carries forth that task with no stopping, and it just does it, and that's that. Um, so you sort of been imbued with strange knowledge that you don't know how you got it. Um, but as you all stand there, you feel a searing pain on a certain part of your body. So we're going to end this as each of you reflect upon what has happened to you and tell us where you have had a magical tattoo burned upon your body that bears the symbol of House Immortalum.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we'll start with Jen.
I don't want to start. Start with Malachi.
Okay, we're gonna start on the other side. Then we'll go backwards. We want to start with Nick. We'll do Matt. Then we'll do Jen.
Sure.
It's burned into the crown of his head, underneath his hair.
Okay, and are you still just pissed off at Ambrosia and this whole stupid ritual? Like you didn't like it at all? It was terrible, and fuck all this, or what? What do you think?
He is all bravado and bluster, but he was interested by the bit of his thing, because he has like no ambition. And this thing's like 10 for your ambitions. Like, motherfucker, I ain't got none. What do you want me to have some more? Maybe that's what it wanted. He's a little bit confused by the visions that he had. But no, I mean, it's the awesome awe. It's the awesome awe of a divine close encounter with the divinity. Now he's not smirking anymore.
That's good, because there was definitely a thunderbolt in your future if you continued to scoff at the power of a god. Sorry to spoiler alert to the other players, but scoff away. Shale, what's up, man? Where's your tattoo at, and how are you feeling about this?
I think it would be awesome to have a badass sleeve, like all the way, like full arm deal. Because it doesn't matter, I can just change it whenever I want. But
I think that'd be
That's
dope.
cool. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know exactly what the symbol looks like. We'll come together and we'll figure that out. But part of it is a constellation, the Orion constellation. So that's definitely gonna
Yes.
you can work out parts of the stars and shit, sort of make
Perfect.
it look like a night sky badassery on your arm there. And yeah, cool, man. And then how are you thinking about this? What do you think about this new situation you've been put into here?
It seems like a lot at first, but I think being able to reflect back on it, it will be a natural progression, I think, and it will allow us to um, succeed in what we want to do, I think.
All right, man. That was a good elf response, man. That was cryptic as shit. If it mattered, I'll give you inspiration for that. Jen, what do you think, man? Where's your tattoo at? And
Yo,
what
I
do you got?
got an Orion tattoo on my rib cage with a date, the date, in whatever language underneath it, and um, just for like the other players, like out of character, I have an Orion tattoo on my rib cage, so this is really
What?
awesome for me.
That's
So
cool as fuck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we had already talked about having that as part of the symbol. All right, so
so
tell us your reaction to the whole situation.
honestly, I'm little like, of course, I'm young. I'm grateful. I think that it's awesome, but I'm pretty much like I'm a little too much immature for this thing, and I'm just kind of thinking, um, just thinking elsewhere. Honestly, during this whole thing, I'm thinking like about myself, maybe being a little bit selfish. Um, the whole thing is like really empowering for me, so maybe I get a little bit big headed from all of it and stuff.
Thinking about what you're going to wear when you get back to Pendle.
Yeah, what sort of clothes am I gonna put on after this? Yeah. Sort of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one more thing I want to throw on top of this, man, before we end this. And you guys, as you begin to speak to one another, and Ambrosia, congratulates you and tells you about the tattoos, that you're that burning is these fucking magic tattoos that you just got. You realize you're all speaking a strange language, and you've all learned a new language that you can only get here in this place. And so you have a secret language. It's called familial, and that's what's up, man. So you gain that as well.
Oh, okay.
It's sort of a thieves' can't style thing, man, where like, you can sort of mix it into other think Bene Gesserit, baby. You got that now, if you know what that is. So anyways, that's the end of the session. Thanks a lot for playing. We're going to end the broadcast now. Thanks for checking it out. If you did, check us out next week when we see what these people do with their newfound power. Will they be struck down forthwith? Because I think that will probably happen.
No.
Thank you.